Lost in the Script, episode 81, Pro Truth. What the hell wrong with you?
The hell wrong with you?
You got flabbergasted. You got confused on things.
I ain't
You
getting
know what to
confused
do.
about shit.
Anyway, how y'all doing, man? Another week.
A lot going on this week. Some more developing news on Mr.
Paul Pelosi.
No, Kanye West.
It's probably this is another one of them ones. We're gonna try to go quickly through some of this stuff, but
George, are you there?
no, I don't think George here. But we're gonna give it some time. We're gonna be talking about a little bit further on the Kyrie Irving situation. As you know, he was suspended, had to pay some bread. We're gonna talk about that.
Didn't I tell you he was gonna fold like a damn lawn chair?
And then more developing stuff on Kanye, and now he's bringing in his personal trainer, who has some interesting comments towards, and got an interesting history that we're gonna go through. We're gonna talk a little bit about a couple other things, some political stuff, obviously.
This is gonna be a 2-hour show. Ain't that what he said last week? This gonna be a 2-hour show.
Hey,
I tell y'all, I said this some bullshit.
I can't help the stuff that happened.
And then they talking about, this might be a 5-hour show. Okay, it's gonna be a 3-hour show for me, and you can continue the 2 hours after I leave.
It's not gonna be no
because I ain't gonna be here for 5 hours.
It's not gonna be close to no 5 hours, man. Hold on.
Oh, so you were over exaggerating?
Yeah, you know how we do. We're hyperbolic people. Hold on. Anyway, how y'all doing, man? Hopefully you had yourself a good week, comfortable week, a safe week. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. The first topic gonna be something very light compared to everything else. First thing we're gonna go through real quick. Hold on. Black Panther. As you know, when does this movie come out? It's later this week, later this month, right? I don't even know the date. I'm about to look it up. I got the article already. Black Panther Wakanda Forever cast have no clue about Namor or Namor spinoff rumors. You know, it's funny because when I saw this, I remember when Black Panther came out, and what's her name?
Rodriguez,
the woman who was singing a Biggie song, talking about niggas give me the heebie-jeebies. She came out in one of her tweets and said, "Where is the Mexican Black Panther or the Latino Black Panther?" A whole bunch of black people started making jokes saying y'all got La Bamba and all that stuff. Desperado.
La Bamba's a good movie, and so is Desperado.
They said, you got Desperado, that's your Latino Black Panther. And I remember seeing a couple of Mexican people after Black Panther, they kept talking about how they need Latino or, I said Mexican people, I meant to say Latino people asking for representation. And then the Asian movie came out, Crazy Rich Asians. And those same Latinos were praising that movie, saying this is great for them, da-da-da-da. And they never brought in the idea that they deserve or want a movie that gives them the same level of representation. And then you look at Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and guess who is now the anti-hero in the movie? The bad guy, quote unquote, who turns out to be good. It's a Mexican or a Latino, as they'll say. So now they're talking about this movie getting a spinoff, and it just made me immediately think the only way they could get them into the MCU is to once again bring the Latinos, the Browns, through the blacks.
The black and brown correlation.
So they couldn't just give these people a movie. They had to make sure they introduced them in the black movie. Why didn't they just introduce him through, I don't know, the next iteration of the...
Well, they had to kill the Black Panther off first.
That's a whole nother discussion. How you kill off the Black Panther.
The black man.
And you call the movie the Black Panther. He's not even, the Black Panther is not in the Black Panther movie. So you kill him off and introduce Latinos. I don't know why I keep saying Mexicans. But anyway.
Get A to top.
Top people. All right. Let me just show this right quick. The cast of Black Panther Wakanda Forever are completely unaware about talk of a possible Namor spin-off project, speaking exclusively with Take Radar and the Marvel Phase 4 movies global junket. Alex Lanvelli and Mabel Cadena expressed surprise at online rumors concerning a Namor-led movie or show. The pair, who portray Tuma and Namora, Neymar's closest confidantes, and Black Panther 2 are certainly open to a prospect of featuring in a possible base production. Even went as far as jokingly say Tech Radar should call him if you hear anything definitive. So they saying, we haven't heard anything about this. We haven't even seen the movie yet. And they already got rumors of him getting his own movie, which means more than likely they already got it planned.
It's already in production.
To give him his own movie. Once again, the Black and Brown Coalition, according, obviously, as always, doesn't actually help Black people. It helps other people. And anybody can be brown at this point. Whether it's Latino, Indians,
Asians. Some Asians.
No, even Asians.
Even though
the Cambodians and all them. Huh?
They're different type of, they're the brown class, not the gold class.
I'm talking about the Cambodians. They call themselves, brown. People of color now. So, yeah, that's how they go. All right, let me go into the next thing. Kyrie Irving. As you know, Kyrie Irving, he's been under a lot of pressure the last, how long has it been? 5-6 days now?
Yeah.
5-6 days. On his Twitter, he tweeted out the movie Hebrews to Negroes. That's it. He didn't say anything. He just tweeted it out on his platform. Now, Amazon link, by the way. The movie is now #1 on Amazon. And they centered the movie as anti-Semitic and how it's destructive to people and it's harming people. And Kyrie Irving, he said at first he's not going to back down. I ain't backing down. I have to use my platform to say things that other people can't say, spreading a message of truth. And I rock with him. I said, Travis, he ain't going to back down. I think he didn't back down on the vaccine thing. I don't think he's going to back down on this. And then
what'd I tell you?
Kyrie Irving apologizes amid Twitter controversy and suspension by Brooklyn Nets over failure to disavow anti-Semitism. Now, when I first saw this apology, a lot of people were saying it's not sincere. They're like, this apology isn't sincere or whatever.
But they wanted more.
Yeah.
Money. That's what the Jews want, money.
So he said his apology. It wasn't enough, apparently. You see here the article here. This is CNN. He said, Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving apologized late Thursday for tweeting a link to a documentary criticized as anti-Semitic, saying he takes full responsibility for his decision to share the content with his nearly 5 million followers. The NBA star posted the apology on a verified Instagram account hours after the Nets announced a 5-game suspension for his later defending of his decision. To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected by my post, I am deeply sorry for the cause you pain. I have caused you pain, and I apologize. I initially reacted to of emotion of being unjustly labeled anti-Semitic instead of focusing on the healing process of my Jewish brothers and sisters that were hurt from the hateful remarks made in the documentary.
So you put up a post for a movie, and you're apologizing for what's in the movie, even though you said nothing.
Even though you said nothing at all.
That's crazy.
I had no intentions to disrespect any Jewish cultural history regarding the Holocaust or perpetuate any hate. I'm learning from this unfortunate event.
Who you read by?
And I hope we can find an understanding between us. Irving was condemned last week by others among Nets owner Joe Tsai and the NBA for tweeting a link to the 2018 movie Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, which is based on the Ronald Dalton's book of the same and had been blasted for being anti-Semitic by civil rights groups. Before Irving shared his apology, his team posted a statement on Twitter saying they made repeated attempts to help Irving understand the harm and danger of his words and actions, which began with him publicizing a film containing deeply disturbing anti-Semitic hate. The Nets say they were dismayed on Thursday when Irving refused to unequivocally say he has no anti-Semitic beliefs nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film. This was not the first time he had the opportunity, but failed to clarify. While meeting with media earlier Thursday, Irving was asked if he was apologizing when he said he didn't mean to cause any offense after tweeting the link to the movie. I didn't mean to cause any harm. Irving replied, I'm not the only one who made the documentary. And it's the same thing that happened with Kanye. He said something about George Floyd based off of Candace Owens' documentary, but all the backlash went to Kanye, not Candace Owens' documentary.
Yeah, she threatened to sue him.
So they're mad with the documentary, but they haven't taken it down off Amazon.
Because Jeff Bezos don't want it down.
Because it's number one right now. He's making money off this. So, and we'll continue. Hold on. Let me show this right quick. What does Kyrie Irving see in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories? The NBA star joins a troubling club by
The Frog.
Jamel Hill. Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets superstar point guard, is as skilled as deflection as he is at putting together spectacular finishes around the basket. On Saturday, after his team's 125-116 loss to the Indiana Pacers, a reporter vigorously questioned Irving about why he used his Twitter account to promote Hebrews and Nggr, whatever. It's on Amazon public platform, Irving said, of a decision to post a link to the purported documentary, which was adapted from the book of the same name. Now, don't this sound exactly like CNN?
Well, they did shit Democratic.
No, it seems like this is just it's a scripted way you got to say this. Everybody's saying the same thing in every article. They're all putting the same words together to describe it.
Is the Atlantic a black?
I guess it's geared towards black people.
Then why is she talking about
I don't know
this?
if it's black owned. I would guess it's black owned because she's on it and she tries to act like she's just super pro black.
Right
So
now,
I would imagine it is.
Super pro shittings right now.
Now it's funny they put this behind a paywall. So you call him, you write an article about him, asking the question why he falls for the anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, but you put it behind the paywall to make money off of it.
Profiting off the black man once again.
Oh, here you go. So, and I notice across social media, I'm seeing so many black people. I've never seen this many black people call people anti-Semitic. It's crazy.
What was the ratio
What you mean
of
ratio?
the genders that was calling people anti-Semitic?
What you mean?
Was it more black men saying it, or black women, or was it
It was both. It was both.
I don't believe you.
It was both.
I don't believe you.
I ain't never seen this many Negroes call people anti-Semitic. And it's always the same people who also are telling you, just so happened, this is just a coincidence, I guess, the same people telling you to vote Democrat. The same people. Like, let me show this. Oh, and look at this. LeBron James said Kyrie Irving caused harm to a lot of people with his actions. I don't condone any hate. I saw another article where he was like, yeah, he apologized, but he caused a lot of harm. And I said, well, LeBron has a rabbi. He has a rabbi. What do you expect him to say? Los Angeles Lakers forward LeBron James has long been on the NBA's vocal leaders of social issues. On Friday night, he discussed the situation concerning a former teammate, Kyrie Irving, who was recently suspended for at least 5 games. Brooklyn Nets, after posting the link, we know. It's simple. Me personally, I don't condone any hate of any kind, any race, to Jewish communities, to black communities, to Asian communities. To you guys know where I stand. I believe what Kyrie did caused some harm to a lot of people. He has since yesterday, he apologized, but he caused some harm, and I think it's unfortunate. I don't stand on the position to harm people when it comes to your voice or your platform or anything. So it doesn't matter what color your skin is, how tall you are, what position you're in. If you're promoting or soliciting or saying harmful things to any community and harm people, then I don't respect it. I don't condone it.
Negro, shut up.
Now, I remember.
Why he didn't continue going down the line? Jewish community, black community, Asian communities, Latino community. Just keep going down the line, naming every damn community.
I remember when the Chinese thing happened. When Hong Kong was going through what they were going through, and the NBA had a game over there, and LeBron and a few other players was over there, and they asked him about what was going on in Hong Kong, and he said no comment, as did all the other players. When he got back to America, for the most part, conservatives were attacking him, saying he was pro-China. He was too scared to speak against China. And I was like, and I saw black people saying, oh man, he sold out. And I said, whoa, that's the one time he didn't. China ain't got shit to do with him. That's the one time I say, this is the one time he's right. He said when he asked about the China thing, he was like, I don't care about what's going on in China. I'm worried about what's going on with America and my people. Now, I'm just saying, you can say what you say about him. Obviously, we know he's never really stood behind those comments, but at least in that moment, I didn't find a problem with what he said. I said, why would we care about what's going on in China and Hong Kong?
Well, he said Asian second, Asian community.
I know, Travis. Let me land it. But then right here, you're now standing behind the Jewish thing, and you mentioned the Asians. So, which is it? Are you worried about your people, or are you worried about all people?
Oh, you want me to talk now?
Yeah.
Okay. He's clearly worried about everybody.
That's it?
That's it.
What the?
You wanted to land it, so.
Yeah, because I was trying to. Okay. All right. Now, no, look at this right here. This is the ambassador from Israel to America. This is the ambassador of Israel. The Nets are showing no tolerance for hate. We can't pick and choose when we want to stand against injustice. Kyrie hopped on the train of being anti-Semitic and was put in his place quickly. I hope he opens his eyes beyond the conspiracy theories he spreads and can educate himself. Put in his place quickly. What is his place?
At the bottom.
It sounds like you saying he was speaking above his pay, how do you say it?
Above his pay class.
Yeah. You're speaking above what you really worth. This ain't got nothing to do with you. So the comments.
Well, clearly he agreed with it.
So Marcel for Congress said, put in his place. Do y'all hear this? This is what it is all about. Letting us, Black Americans, know who is in charge. All y'all going to just accept or tolerate this? I know I sure as hell will not. It's time that America stops sending Israel $4 billion a year. America does not owe Israel anything. We saved y'all from the Nazis. That was enough. This is why they get all the money every year. ALPAC and other our 2 million members proudly support 364 pro-Israel candidates this cycle, including 44 members of the U.S. Progressives, 41 members of the CPAC, 27 members of the Black Caucus, and 25 members of the Hispanic Caucus. Being pro-Israel is good policy and good politics. Basically saying, if you pro-Israel, you got a chance to win. We might let you win.
Well, we saw that, what was her name in Detroit? That's the first thing she said.
Mm-hmm. But
we know it was Michigan.
Michigan. The first thing, when she beat, what's her name?
Nina Turner.
Nina Turner. The first thing she said is, he got on Twitter and said, I am pro-Israel, da-da-da-da. I said, damn. They are bragging about controlling the CBC, keep voting for the folks they put on the silver platter. They control mainstream media and celebs who tell you to vote or die. If you don't know how much control they have, now you know. Black folks' voice isn't heard in D.C. Gotta be a Zionist. That's a fact. Guess he didn't say this. I am omnis, and I mean no disrespect to anyone's religious belief. The anti-Semitic label that is being pushed on me is not justified and does not reflect the reality or truth I live in every day. I embrace and want to learn from all walks of life and religions. A lie. That's Kyrie Irving. I love you just dog whistle. I love you just dog whistled that you are anti-black racist while trying to call out hate. So Rizza Islam, by the way, I think he's back on social media. Rizza Islam, I think he's back allowed on Twitter again. But listen to this. You notice that when Kyrie in the movie Hebrews and Negroes, we know what the movie is about. No one's mentioning that. They're just saying there's anti-Semitic things in the movie. But they actually haven't talked about what the movie is about. Same with Kanye. The stuff he said in that Drink Champs interview, the one thing they ever mentioned about was when he said who the Hebrews are. They haven't put it in the article. They haven't denounced that. They haven't came out against it. They don't even mention it. They just attack.
Well, they got to be very careful how they handle the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Now look at this. Speaking of Nike, because that's why they were saying that LeBron didn't speak against China, is because Nike, they got a lot of warehouses and stuff in China. Nike suspends relationship with Kyrie Irving. Now, this all started because Kanye said these people run everything and they doing stuff to my people. And immediately he goes from being a billionaire to not. And Kyrie Irving now just lost about a couple million in just a couple days. But we're supposed to say, okay, these people don't have a lot of power?
Clearly they do.
I don't get it. Which is it? Are they these people with no power and just constantly attacked and scared and, you know, or are they people that got a lot of control over things?
It ain't a lot. They have the control.
Okay. Kyrie Irving turned huge talent into even greater waste as he tarnished identity. Kyrie Irving really did sign up for the rare opportunity in the summer of 2019. The Knicks had dealt a currency of dysfunction and defeat for so long, leaving the market wide open for a charismatic baller to take it by the throat. So this dude is also going in on Kyrie for not going to the Knicks. Almost like he's saying you should have went to the Knicks. Oh, he's a great talent, but you know, his personality off the court and stuff makes it not. And he should have went to the Knicks, but I'm glad he didn't come to the Knicks. Somehow that became a story. I don't know how he turned that into a story. All right, let me show this. Kyrie first proclaims, "I am unique position to have level of influence in my community." And less than a minute later, Irving states, "I am no different from any other human being. You guys come in here and make up this powerful influence I have." Now I got to ask about Kyrie Irving. Does Kyrie Irving have a martyr complex? Does he want to be influential and respected for his opinions? So he do things, some people would say, to get attention.
I guess you could say, yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a bad thing.
That's what I'm saying. Because, I mean, the anti-vax thing, although I agree with him, he could have just not taken it. And just, you know, the media say what they say, and, you know. When then you got this, he randomly tweets out the link on his social media. You know what's going to happen when you do that. Now, if you're willing to stand on it, that's one thing. But if you're going to fold, then what's the point of tweeting it out?
Did the same thing Nick Cannon did.
Now, hold on. Nick Cannon's a little different because he was on a podcast and it was months old. He didn't do it he didn't tweet out a link to something on his social media to garner attention. He was just talking about it with, what's his name?
Professor Griff.
Professor Griff. He was talking to him about it, and they just so happened to have dug back into his content. And
no, what I'm saying is the stuff that he talked about with Professor Griff that he was so passionate about, he didn't stand on in a time when that heat came to him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you're on a platform with Professor Griff, it's going to get attention by Jewish people because he's been labeled as anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
So we can't sit here and make excuses and say Nick Cannon didn't know that.
Well, now you got to say
when it did.
So now you're saying that he invited Professor Griff on to get attention.
I'm not necessarily saying he invited Professor Griff on to get attention. What I'm saying is him knowing that he has that history with the so-called Jewish people, that it was going to bring backlash.
Okay. Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets will each donate $500,000 in the wake of Irving's controversial social media post about a book and a movie that feature anti-Semitic tropes. Irving and the Nets in the Anti-Defamation League, it was ran by Zionists, a joint statement announcing the donations Wednesday night. Now think about this. He said something. All he did was tweet out a link to a documentary or movie, and then making him pay $500,000, suspending him for 5 games, and he'll probably lose about $2 million just those alone. Who knows how much he might lose from the Nike thing? This is worse than Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon ain't pay no money back, and he never apologized to them.
Maybe Nick Cannon didn't make his money in. Maybe Nick Cannon didn't make his payments in money. Maybe he made it in selling ass. We don't know.
We don't know what happened. The point is, publicly, this is worse. Not only did he apologize, he paying money.
Well,
he apologized, and they said it's not enough, and still suspended him after paying the money.
You said it's worse. We don't know what Nick Cannon did after.
We can't. That's the point. We can't say what he did. We just know what happened publicly, and this is worse. Kyrie look crazy right now.
Kyrie said, "I'd rather pay $5,000 out."
5,000? You mean 500?
I mean $500,000 out. Then
that look bad.
Have to do some other stuff behind the scenes.
We don't know about none of that. The point is, this look worse. This look bad, man.
Listen, if you're gonna come out and say something, stand on it. They got the tapes on you. Say release the tapes.
Release the damn tape.
Push the button, motherfucker. Push the button.
Now look at it. This is after the calm. He tweeted it out at the next game. Now these are a bunch of Jewish kids on the sidelines with fight anti-Semitism. And I thought, what does this look like?
Plantation.
It's like a plantation to me. The people who really control shit watching the cattle entertain. And even, we saw what you said. We can afford, first off, we can afford to sit here. It's expensive. This is Brooklyn, Barclays Center, Kyrie Irving, KD on the team. These are very expensive seats. We're going to sit here and wear these shirts.
You know what? You just look at this and you go, this is their time. But when they have to come and bow and worship at your feet, that's why you see these Hebrew Israelites groups on the streets so heated and so passionate, because when they read the scripture and they see these things and they go, when your time comes, good God.
I ain't gonna say it. I'm about to say something good. I saw this right here. I remember when Chris Rock said this last year. He said Chris Rock calls anti-vaxxers dumb Kyrie mother effers at Brooklyn show. And I saw this headline. I remember my first thought was, I know exactly who's in that crowd.
I told you what the woman, she was on the State of the Culture. Her name was Ebony.
Yeah.
She said she recently went to a Chris Rock comedy show and it was horrible. She said he was pretty much poking fun and making fun at black people. She said it was so bad. She said, I wish Will Smith was there to slap him. I was so upset when it happened. Now I know why he slapped him, even though we know that was scripted.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, God, I wish he could slap the shit out of her right now.
I remember when Kevin Hart, he was on somebody's show, I can't remember. He was asked a question about what advice have you gotten from a comedian that helped you. And he said, Chris Rock told me, don't do comedy for your local, do comedy international. As in, don't worry about doing comedy for just the people that like you. Worry about growing and expanding your audience. So basically, make sure you don't alienate white people. Chris Rock has had this trope on him. He's had this thing on him since the 90s. People are like, oh, Chris Rock does comedy for white people. Yes, he does some racial comedy and stuff and talk about certain things. Like one of the better jokes he did was when he said, I live in a great neighborhood next to Jay-Z and all these other people. And his white guys is just a dentist. He's in the same neighborhood as us. We are some of the best at our profession. And this dude, he's just a dentist. He's in the same neighborhood as us. Though I think the real commentary he was making is you don't need to be a celebrity to be wealthy. You can do other things. Or you don't need to be an entertainer, a black entertainer to be wealthy. But anyway, Kanye West. Kanye West
just keeps sending you down this
whole
rabbit hole.
Now, I'm gonna show this one first. His apology. Let me just play Kanye's apology first. You already seen this, right?
Yeah.
Let me show this.
So when I said that, and I questioned the death of George Floyd, it hurt my people. It hurt the black people. So I want to apologize to hurting them, because right now God has shown me by what Adidas is doing and by what the media is doing, I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now. So I thank you, God, for humbling me and letting me know how it really felt.
Now, hold on. Y'all, we couldn't see the comments at last. We haven't been able to see none of the comments, so hold on.
You want to read or you want me to read?
No, I go through them. Sorry about that. Yeah, we couldn't see the comments earlier. He didn't say anything. Hey, what up, V? I bet his wife doesn't want him to lose her lifestyle, allegedly. I bet his wife doesn't want him to lose her lifestyle, allegedly. Afternoon, brethren in chat. Stop by to greet y'all and going to catch this on fire replay later. I'll stand with Kyrie in spirit. Yeah, shout out Regina. This is all the distraction. Wasn't he accepting to his mother's tribe? Where's the Native Americans after they backed him. Oh yeah.
Oh, he's saying he's
Kyrie
Native
says
American?
Native American. He even went to one of the ceremonies and stuff.
Like the Mongoloid Native Americans?
I don't know. I think so. I don't know. He's from New Jersey. Remember that? And you saw his father before. Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, what are Native Americans? Where your well then he tweeted out a link about Negroes, so apparently he didn't give a damn about that Native American. In my opinion, I think he should apologize as much as they want him to. It harms their position more every time. Him refusing to apologize hurts himself unnecessarily. His point was made loud and clear. Well, I can agree with that. If you look at Kanye West for example, he apologized, but every time they take something from him, and it looks like, damn, y'all really do control everything. If you could turn somebody from a billionaire to not.
Yeah.
So even if you keep apologizing, it might look like he's not standing on his point, but his point is being made regardless. So you can just throw him to the side. Like, we don't even care if you apologize. Now the real topic is being showed, and we support him. See, they're trolling. He should do whatever they want. They have no reason to continue. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Now Kanye's apology. First, I'm gonna ask the simple question: Do you accept Kanye's apology?
You asking me or you asking the chat?
I'm asking the chat and you. Do you accept his apology?
Well, I can't be upset with Kanye West over his apology because I've said I felt like now they're gonna be mad at me. I felt like the George Floyd thing was a little scripted. Now I've never said that he actually wasn't, his knee wasn't actually on his neck and that didn't happen to him. But I felt like this thing was scripted for George Floyd. It was a good time for the Democratic Party. They need something big to happen, and it just so happened all this stuff just happened to be in play to happen.
It just helped them
right
so much.
before the election.
Yeah, and they actually use this for their political purpose. It's been proven.
But for the black people that it harmed and it upset by what he said, they were like, "You gonna apologize to the Jews, and you're not gonna apologize to the black community about what you said?"
So okay, he apologized to the Jews because they was hurting him financially.
Yeah.
So now he's apologized to the black people because he doesn't have any support. He feels like he doesn't have a support system right now.
Pretty much.
So you think throw him to the wolves, let him hang him out to dry, or do you stand behind him for one purpose only, just to go at them other ones?
I never thought I would say this.
Stand
Kanye West, but until he folds,
I
say that
he's bent. He hasn't folded, but he's bent.
I feel like all things happen for a reason. I feel like the Most High uses people to bring attention to stuff, and some people say yes, it's a distraction, but at the same time, it's also used to awakening some people, to the industry and seeing that there is one particular group that controls everything.
As he, once again, things that get left out in his interview on Drink Champs when he said all the people in these contracts that these black people have are, and it's the same people in these contracts. People.
And thank you for pointing out black, because what we're about to go into, it's not just the managers that are there, that the Jewish people. It's even trainers.
Yeah, well, we know they have rabbis too. Yeah, we know they have rabbis and stuff. Which I was always, why does a celebrity who's not quote unquote Jewish, doesn't participate in the Judaism religion, why do they have a rabbi? For a spiritual advisor?
Well, I thought you would go to your pastor that you've been going to for all these years.
Exactly. When we saw what happened with Obama.
So once you get money, you don't need a.
So did Obama replace his pastor with a rabbi?
Probably so.
You know what Obama called himself? When Obama left office in 2000 and not left office. When he was in office in I think like 2013 or something like that. Maybe it was later. He said, if I had to define myself, I would be a center-right center-right Jew. That's how Obama described himself. Center-right Jew.
Wow.
So he got rid of his pastor, his Baptist pastor in Chicago, because he was saying some things that made him disassociate with him, and replaced it with a rabbi.
Well, that's to let you know who controls everything.
That's a form of, that's such a high level of control when you get people to accept your religion. That's why when you see these white people take these missions to other countries and call themselves going to teach them a way of
They're
Jesus.
Missionaries.
That's imperialism. I'm gonna teach you. Same thing with Islam. When you join Islam, they make you learn the Arabic language. You got to dress a certain way. They make you accept their entire culture. And if you don't learn their language and decide to read their Quran in English or another language, they say that's not the true word. You got to learn Aramaic. Well, you're making me accept your culture. That's literally forcing me to subject myself to you.
Well, if you following their religion, you should.
But it's not their religion.
Whose
It's supposed to be the
religion is it?
creators. That's my point.
Well,
You're
they
making me
feel like-
learn. You're making your culture and language the creator's culture and language. That's why when you ask the question, well, did the creator speak Aramaic? Is that his language?
I believe that's what they're saying.
They're not. They'll say no.
Okay.
But why I gotta learn your language? Because that's what it was written in by Muhammad. Well, Muhammad has told you that that's not the original. Muhammad said go read the other one. The good book, what they call it. He said go read that one to make sure this is true.
The Bible?
Yeah. But anyway, that's beside the point. Now we're gonna go into something deep. Travis, he did this.
I didn't do nothing.
You did it. Travis in the this morning. We just put this together. Travis brought up Yee talking about a message.
That's what we call him now. His name is Yee, not
That's the
Kanye
name.
West no more.
He changed his name legally to Yee. Are you gonna respect it or not? Muhammad Ali changed his name from Cassius Clay. We respected it.
I'm tired. You know, Diddy went from Puff Daddy to Diddy to Buddy Love to Love. This is just getting ridiculous.
The point is, are you gonna respect his name change or not? We respected Muhammad Ali's. His name is Cassius Clay. That's the name his mom and daddy gave him. But we call him Muhammad Ali. Anyway, Kanye West. He had a little back and forth with his trainer. His trainer. This is not a person who should be that important in his life. He can obviously replace this person at any moment. He said, what should be obvious by now is that I was raised to stand for my truth regardless of the consequences. So I would say this again. I was mentally misdiagnosed and nearly drugged out of my mind to make a manageable, well-behaved celebrity. Let me say this. I know someone very close to us who who maybe in their younger years was told certain things about their mental health and took certain medicines that they said made things worse and have warned people not to use that medicine. So I'm not saying that Kanye isn't bipolar. I'm saying that there's been people who have been told they're bipolar and given medicine or drugs that made them act a certain way, made them act erratic and stuff. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not, but is it? I mean, how much has his behavior changed?
Who the person?
Give me who the person. Why would I say the person? But
I'm just joking, dude.
oh, now this is what his trainer said. He said, "I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based on in fact and not some crazy stuff that that dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in tweet." Now, who's the dumb friend?
Is it Candace?
I don't know. Who is the dumb friend that told him something? Because keep in mind, the trainer is Jewish. So what friend is telling him something? Is Candace Owens telling him to say this stuff? I know she told him about the George Floyd stuff, but everything else, I doubt it. Or you saw in a tweet. Now, who tweets are he referring to? Then he says, second option, I have you institutionalized again, I've done this before, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Almost sounds like the sunken place. I'm going to send you back to the sunken place. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. Now, he uses kids. Why? Go ahead.
You know, a lot of people reference that movie Get Out to
Kanye West.
Well, Yee.
Now, why did he bring up the kids?
Well, you know, Kanye West been talking about his kids been taken from him.
His black kids.
He keep saying black kids, and
Keep
it's
saying
like,
black kids.
if you want to call them black,
He's trying to get
biracial.
He's trying to get the black community.
We know.
To stand with him. Yeah.
But we like, yo, biracial kids.
Yeah, they're gonna keep on.
We're gonna keep reminding you that you got
They
biracial kids.
But we see what you're saying. But come on now, come on with it. But anyway, now you got anything to say?
No, go ahead.
So now when you first started, you go, when the hell did a trainer have this level of control over a person?
Well,
I'm hiring you. How you telling me what I'm gonna do? Like, he didn't tell him this. Like, this is what we should do. I hope you want to sit down. He's telling him this is what we gonna do.
Who he sound like to you?
Go ahead.
Sounds like a handler.
He sounds like he's somebody who knows I can tell you what to do, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
There's more.
So when Travis put this out, you start looking at things like, who is this man? Who is this guy that can tell a grown ass man who's paying him to be his trainer what to do?
You'll never guess what is.
Well, we already said it. He's Jewish.
Oh,
Now, this is Wikipedia. Harley Pasternak. Harley Pasternak. That's his name. It says here he's a Canadian personal trainer, motivational speaker, author, and television host. Pasternak is known for working with many celebrities, clients as personal trainer. He's also known for the co-host ABC's 2012 daytime talk show, The Revolution.
I've never heard of that.
I haven't either. I think it's a Canadian show, probably. He's from Canada. Early life, Pasternak is Jewish and grew up in a typical Ashkenazi household.
Those are the Ashkenazis are the ones that's the...
Yeah, Ashkenazi Jews are known as Ashkenazi Jews, or are Jewish diaspora population who coalesced in the Holy Roman Empire around the end of the first millennium CE. Their traditional diaspora language is Yiddish. They don't speak Jewish, which none of them do. I mean to say Jewish. They don't speak Hebrew. None of them do. Go ahead.
The Ashkenazi Jews are the Jews that's... I think y'all correct me if I'm wrong. They're the ones that don't believe in God.
Yeah, I think so. I think
they're
the
the
ones,
atheists.
Yeah, they do believe.
I forget the other Jews.
It's so strange how you consider yourself the chosen people, but anyway. But yeah, Pasternak graduated York Mill. So basically, this is what they say is his thing, right? This is all that's on his wiki, but that's not true. Before Kanye West tweeted about him, it was a much different.
Sephardic Jews.
Sephardic, yeah.
Those are the ones that believe,
yeah,
or follow some sort of
religious. I mean, not religious, but creator. All right, this is his original Wikipedia. You see how much more? See how much they took out?
They took a lot of stuff out.
Like,
this is a thick, heavy.
Now look at this. I talked about a revolution part. It said Pasternak is assumed to be the subject of proven facts made known by rapper Kanye West. Pasternak is Jewish. Now they keep mentioning he's Jewish. In 2022, Harley threatened to his client Kanye West with involuntary commitment should he refuse to have a talk with him. Now somebody included this, and it was taken out of Wikipedia completely.
Who put it in Wikipedia though?
I don't know. Now, early life, you see what they said. Now look, they said notable clients. The only person in the on the list now is Halle Berry, Robert Downey Jr., and Penelope Cruz. In the old one, before they scrubbed the hell out of it, look at all these celebrities: Adam Levine,
Who's
Lady
Jewish?
Gaga, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Megan Fox, John Mayer, Amy Schumer.
Jewish.
Yeah, Jennifer Hudson, Rihanna. He worked with everybody. Mac Miller, who died of a alleged drug overdose. Bono. So Alicia Keys, he worked with all these people. Now let's look at this right here. It says during his time at UNT, Pasternak served as a nutrition and exercise scientist at Department of National Defense's DCIEM, Defense and Civil Institute of Environmental Medicine.
Now what that sound like to y'all?
From 2005 to 2007, as a scientist, Harley focused on performance psychology and nutrition with a speciality in caffeine and epinephrine. His work was published in scientific journals, medicine, so you get the point. Okay, now the Department of National Defense, what is that? Department of National Defense is a Canadian military wing. He's in the military. It's a department of the government of Canada which supports the Canadian Armed Forces in its role of defending Canada's national interests domestically and internationally. The department is a civilian organization, part of a public service, and supports the armed forces. So it is a support for the armed forces. Now, the particular department that he was with was called the DRDC. It is a major military research station located in the former site of CFB Downsview in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is one of several centers making up Defense Research and Development Canada. Now, let's see the type of stuff they research at this place. The scientists and technologies apply, explore, and share the results of research in the following fields: human system integration, human performance in stressful environments, simulation and modeling of the human and complex military systems, human issues in command and control, team performance and collaborative behavior, psychology and malicious intent, social and cultural factors influencing behaviors.
So that sounds like MK Ultra.
The wing does have MK Ultra ties, as did the CIA. You see here, Bigelow's work is one of the many examples the Defense Research Board could point to prove the early funding prioritized priorities were having a global impact on the health of people. Not everything in DRB funded was auspicious and or beneficent. Now, this is right here. The three men were interested in depattering, also known as mind control or popularly as brainwashing,
which is
Cameron's former patients at Allen Memorial Institute sued the Canadian government and the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, for what amounted to torture without informed consent. MK Ultra. So Kanye's trainer,
Kanye West is definitely an asset.
Kanye's trainer is a former, he wasn't in the military, but he worked with the military, who supported the armed forces, who learned how to deal with people in stressful environments, how to push people's buttons and make them react certain ways. In the department he worked for, they say used to, as in that doesn't do it no more, allegedly, but we know that's not always true, used to do mind control research.
Once you work for the CIA or any type of government,
you're
thing,
always,
you're always in it.
Now look at this. This person right here was breaking a lot of this stuff down to restoring order. This is an interview he did.
My graduate advisor, and the area that I was interested in was how drugs and food affect muscular performance. And
when you say drugs, are that like performance enhancing drugs, or are they
all
just
kinds of drugs?
Oh, right. Okay.
So working for the military, I wasn't governed by the same laws that the typical person was. So I could look at the impact of certain drugs that are not everyday things. So we looked at a drug called modafinil, which was for narcoleptics. So if you give a soldier this drug, how long could they stay awake for without having any health detriment?
Is that used now as one of these brain drugs? I've heard the name before somewhere.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Modafinil, it will keep you awake, but it's not a stimulant.
Really?
So if a special forces person has to stay awake for 3 nights waiting for the right opportunity to do whatever they have to do, we could give them modafinil and it would keep them alert. I did research on.
So you see what he was doing, right? Now, his doctor, the doctor, if you remember, when Kanye, he was institutionalized in 2016. This is the doctor who made the call to have him institutionalized, along with his trainer, Michael Farzam. I guess how you say it, Michael Farzam. This is him. This is Kanye's personal doctor. Look at this. Kanye West has been taken to the UCLA Medical Center for Psychiatric Evaluation. This is in 2016, November 21st, 2016. Look.
So around this time every year, he starts to have what?
I say Yeezy season.
Yeah.
I say this is called Yeezy season. This happened every year almost. According to law enforcement sources, cops responded to call of a welfare check on Kanye around 1:20 p.m. He was at his trainer Harley Pasternak's home at the time and was acting erratically. So the doctor called the cops in the ambulance, but he was at his trainer's house. I didn't know people go to the trainer's house to work out. What was he doing at his trainer's house? We saw the same weird connection with Kevin Hart and his trainer, where allegedly he was riding around with his trainer in a sports car.
And got in a car accident. But people was like, there was a woman in the car. Oh, it was his wife. It was the trainer's wife. And what was the trainer's wife doing in the car with a 2-seater with Kevin Hart in the trainer? Swingers.
We don't know.
But most trainers go to their client house.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Or they go to the gym.
That's what I thought. I didn't know you go to your trainer's house. But maybe at that level, these superstar trainers, you do go to their house.
Maybe the Jews do it differently.
Okay. All right. This is the call they made for Kanye back in 2016.
911 emergency. Departamento Policía 652.
Hey, PD, hold on, sir. Sir, PD, this is number 97. I have you're his doctor, sir. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah, I'm just calling. I'm actually one of his doctors. I'm just calling for my cell phone request if we can have some police backup because I don't think the paramedics,
Are you there now with him? So let me connect this with the police. If you can bring both,
yeah, because I think he definitely is going to need to be hospitalized. So I wouldn't just do the police by itself. I think he needs to.
Okay, what is the medical condition he's having, sir?
Weapons involved or in the area? No other weapons. No. And you're his doctor or therapist? Yeah, correct, doctor.
Deputy, I'm 868. I'm number 97.
No, he doesn't want that. You guys are responding.
Peter, we're going to go ahead and respond and stand by for you.
All right, 652, and it's going to be 2447. Yeah, and as I said, I
68.
So you get the point. That's the guy who's making the call. All right. Now I want to show. Hold on. Uh-oh, it's starting to load a little slower.
Any comments?
Oh. This thing acting weird. I'm gonna show you this right here. See what you think about it. Hold on, let me stem condom because he's still one of us and he's doing something we couldn't. He got an interesting cross-section of supporters. That guy is frightening. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want somebody like that near me, but maybe he don't have a choice.
True.
All right, I want to show you this right here. Since we're talking about control and all this other stuff, I want to show you what Stephen A. Smith had to say, and you tell me whether or not you agree with him or not.
We are still black in this country. We don't trust this country in terms of meritocracy always. We know the bottom line is that just like women are underpaid compared to male counterparts, blacks are underpaid compared to white counterparts. And so when you look at it from that perspective, and of course, people look at me, I'm not talking about me, even though I got news for you. I am underpaid compared to some people on television and what they get paid, but that's a subject for another day. I ain't apologizing for that to a damn soul. I am underpaid. Having said all of that, it ain't about me. We are still black.
I think Stephen A. Smith making $8 million a year, something like that. Not counting the man's pockets. The point is, he is on. There was a time, especially I think he slowed down because he's getting a little older. And ESPN, they worked him like a dog for like 7 to 8 years straight. The man, it was after he signed his contract with ESPN to get all that money. He was working basketball, football, baseball, boxing, UFC. They had started him covering hockey. They had him covering hockey. He was covering.
Was he choosing to host these things, or was he?
No, it was his contract.
You saw his contract?
The reason why he didn't do it before.
You saw his contract?
Why would he cover hockey if he doing it before? He signed a new contract, now he's covering hockey. He even had his own TV show, radio show on Sirius XM. He's working. Like he has a lot of he's the face of ESPN. It's not even close. But you see right here in the title, it says no U.S. born black players in World Series for the first time since 1950. Notice it says no U.S. born black players. There's some Cubans and some Dominicans and stuff in the baseball. What do you think that means? Why aren't black Americans playing baseball as much?
No fathers in the home?
You think that's all it is?
What else do you think it is?
I'm asking you. I agree with that point.
Have they lost interest in it?
Or is the popularity of basketball kind of taken away from baseball? Because back in
that too,
when people talk about black players who played in the 70s, 80s, and obviously the 90s, basketball was just kind of turning into a main sport in the mid 80s to 90s with Jordan. Larry Bird, on Magic and Bird and Dr. J and them in the early 80s, they helped it grow. But Jordan is the one who made basketball a true staple. So around the late 90s, basketball was kind of number 2 sport. baseball kind of died out amongst black people around that time. Now, in the early 2000s, you still had some black players, obviously, but it wasn't as prominent as basketball.
Well, clearly they feel like they need it because they said we need to do something before we lose them.
Well, I think that's Dusty Baker. He's a coach. He's a what they call a manager. I think he's black. That's why he's saying that. So I just showed that to say maybe Steven. I mean, he says some stuff I disagree with, but
he's not Black American though.
That's fun. That's why it's funny. It says non-U.S. born. It's like I think he was U.S. born though, wasn't he? His family isn't, but I think he is. All right. Next up.
It's a rabbit hole too.
Another rabbit hole, y'all. But we're gonna there's two levels to this we're gonna talk about. Migos rapper Takeoff shot dead in Houston at 28.
Oh,
he was born in 94.
Huh?
He was born in 94.
Same age as you. Oh. Sometimes I forget we live.
So on the first level of this story is kind of strange because on Halloween, Takeoff and Quavo decide to go to, I guess his name is J Prince Jr. or Jazz Prince, his party, his get together he got going on at a bowling alley. Now the first thing I thought is, Quavo and Takeoff didn't go to a celebrity bash. You know how these celebrities on Halloween, they like to have these big parties, these get-togethers to dress up. They didn't go to one of those?
To celebrate these harvests.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. So on the first level of this, you go, oh, here we go. Another hip-hop violence. I don't know why we have just death culture, where we worship death and violence almost. Here we go with more black men killing another black man.
You don't know why?
You don't know why.
We're being one-dimensional.
There's two sides to this, Travis.
Okay.
Damn. Obviously the whole black-on-black crime thing that people bring up. So apparently at a dice game, actually it was a dice game happened. It led to an argument, led to an altercation outside of the bowling alley. Quavo gets punched. His nephew, Takeoff, steps up, about to get into it. Apparently, some people are accusing the guy standing next to him in a yellow hoodie is the one who shot him, grabbed his body for protection so that they couldn't shoot him. Quavo's half-brother fires towards the direction of the dude. So people initially, thanks to DJ Academics, was accusing Quavo's half-brother of shooting Takeoff. But now people are saying it was actually a guy named Little Cam in a yellow hoodie over a dice game. Now, keep in mind, the reason why Migos and Takeoff was there, they were checking in, quote unquote, with what they call them, a Rap-A-Lot Records. They were checking in with Prince, the Princes. You can call them that. J Prince Jr.,
Why
Jazz Prince.
does the black community have to check in with them when they go there?
We talked about this before. I don't understand the check-in culture. Why is it
just black people?
A person who, let's say, I wonder if, who's a white, Eminem. When Eminem goes to Houston, do he got to check in with you?
No.
Who's another rapper? I can't think of another. Who's another
Mac
rapper?
Miller.
When Mac Miller's alive, did he have to check in?
Matter of fact,
G-Eazy, do he got to check in? MGK.
He from Texas.
Who?
The one that got a kid with a black girl, a black woman.
Paul Wall.
Paul Wall too. It's another one. What is it? He with Megan Fox? Not Megan Fox. I think they were together before.
MGK.
He's
not from Texas.
I thought he's from Texas.
I think he's from Detroit. That's like Eminem. That's why they went back and forth.
Do he have to check in when he go there?
I don't think so. When all these other races come to these places like LA, Texas, New York, I don't know if it's in Georgia. They're doing it in Georgia, Jersey, Chicago. Do you really got to check in? And another thing, if you got to check in with somebody and you end up dying in their presence.
Machine Gun Kelly is from Houston, Texas.
He is?
Yeah, he is. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Okay. So do he got to check in when he go to Houston?
He from Houston, so he don't got to check in. He from there.
Okay. So they make these people check in apparently, and he ended up checking in and he still got checked out. Everybody using that. I shouldn't have used that because everybody using that.
What?
He checked in and had to check out. Everybody using that. But yeah. So whatever reason, we got this check-in culture. He ended up dying. In the first look, obviously, he died over a dice game in an argument, whatever. But there's more to this story. Once again, I'll ask myself immediately, why did they go to this? Why were they deciding to support this on this night? Remember, they released a music video on Halloween called Messy. And I showed you the video. And then it starts with Quavo shaking Takeoff in the car saying, wake up, because he was asleep. And then they go into what's called, and he has some questionable lines in the song, and people are saying, oh, this is eerie. But when somebody die,
everything looks like,
eerie.
how we didn't see that, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it is what it is. But let me show this right quick.
Before we leave this page, you see what color his glasses are? It's like the purple.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back.
Yeah, the red and the blue.
And that brings together what? Red and blue brings together it brings together the female and the male side.
Yeah. The rapper, real name, Kersnick Kari Ball.
Now,
go ahead.
When I see this name, you go, they don't look African American.
Kersnick.
That looks more like an Arabic
I wouldn't say Arabic. It's more, when I looked at the name, it said the name was Eastern European. That's what it said. But when I saw this name, I immediately thought of an Indian culture or something. Or you said Hamitic.
Was in Eastern Europe.
Huh?
What group of people was in Eastern Europe?
You mean who was there? Wait, go ahead.
The Phoenicians was in Eastern Europe, weren't they?
I thought they was in West.
You sure?
Yeah. Up in Britain and all that stuff. All right. It says Takeoff, a member of the rap trio Migos alongside Quavo and Offset, died Tuesday morning, November 1st, after he was shot in Houston. Rolling Stone has confirmed the death of the rapper, whose real name was Kersnick Kari Ball. He was 28. All right, let me show this right quick. The next one. Takeoff autopsy states Migos rapper died from gunshot wound to head, torso. Medical reports revealed the rapper, given name Kersnick Kari Ball, was struck by multiple bullets. The results of the Takeoff autopsy, we saw that. According to the AP report, the autopsy published Wednesday by the Harris County Institute of Forensic Scientists stated Ball's cause of death to be penetrating gunshot wounds of head and torso into arm, and listed the manner of the death as homicide. According to authorities, continued looking for information leading to identification of Ball's killer or killers. Houston Police Sergeant Michael Arrington on Tuesday confirmed that the incident occurred following a private event at 810 Billards and bowling in downtown Houston. Arrington stated that an altercation broke out and a large group gathered outside the venue's third floor entrance and at least 2 guns were fired. Those wishing to report trips to Houston police anonymously can call Crime Stoppers. All right. Takeoff's music label, Quality Control Music, has posted a statement to Instagram stating the rapper offstage named Kersnick Kari Ball was killed by an errant gunshot during an early morning altercation inside Houston's 810 Buildings and Bowlings on Tuesday. So they're saying it was he was hit with a stray bullet. That's what they were saying right here. They were saying he's hit with a straight bullet. That it doesn't make sense because they said he was shot. They said a bullet entered the back of his head. The label proceeded to ask the public to respect Ball's family and friends' privacy as they grieve. Houston police officials have yet to confirm any particulars regarding the gunshot that ended the 28-year-old superstar's life. Only saying the argument took place and escalated to the point where at least 2 guns were fired outside the third floor entrance of the downtown bowling alley at 2:30 on Tuesday. The shooting occurred after the privately booked event in 810 Buildings and Bowling occurred in the midst of a large group of 40 or more people. Well, it shouldn't be hard to find them because only 40 people. Who were the people arguing? Who were the people that shot? There's your killer. All right. So now we're going to go straight to this. Now, this is the guy they said who did it. They're saying he's been found dead, but I don't think this is true. The Lil Cam, 5th Ward Mob Ties member. This is the name of the group they with Lil Jazz and all them call themselves Mob Ties. Member was shot dead in Houston. Takeoff Migos alleged killer died in shooting. Joshua Isaac Cameron, allegedly suspect in shooting death of rapper Takeoff, was reportedly shot dead in Greater 5th Ward, report said. Now, after the shooting, and this dude's picture popped up on the internet, Jay Prince, the father, came out and said, things happen, people shooting with their eyes closed, and you can't hide behind me. whatever what's need to be done will be done. Speaking in code and all this stuff. Basically saying somebody he knew who did it, and saying that the person who did it will be handled. I still don't believe this because you had other reports saying that they were hiding him and all this other stuff. But this is just all speculation. But I want to talk about a deeper look at this. On Halloween, November 1st and November 1st and November 2nd is what?
Day of the Dead.
It's referred to as Day of the Dead.
It can also be, some people celebrate it on November 6th too.
Yeah. So when we look at this right here, Takeoffs, and before we get to that, I'm not even going to this. I'm going to say this right quick. At what point do we look at our culture and recognize what's necessary and what's not? I'm about to ask the question. Is hip hop a necessity for us at this point? It used to be a form of expression politically and all this other stuff, racially. But at this point, is it necessary?
I think the Most High is trying to tell us we need to let it go.
I mean, we move on.
It's like you said last week, trauma. Hip hop is what? Isn't it considered trauma music?
I can see, even when it first was brought out, I mean, we could look back at, blues music is trauma. Most of our music we make through our trauma. That's what I was saying. We base our entire identity out of our trauma. Even our music, our expression, everything. Hell, our mannerisms, everything, how we talk. We base it all out of our trauma. I mean, hell, everything that happens, like we asked the question, I remember when somebody said, why do black people, when they laugh, do they got to stand up and run away from each other and all this other stuff? And somebody said, it's because on the plantation, when black people would laugh, the master would get mad. So when they start laughing, they have to get away from each other. So they wouldn't get caught laughing in the group. And he said this became a form of, now I don't believe that's what it is, but the point is we always find a way to find trauma, and even in our moments of happiness.
Well, I tell you what.
Cookouts, everything.
You know how lately you just have cultures coming out of the woodworks, and it's just like, well, we created this. We did this first. And Black Americans are like, you're lying. We created this.
Yeah.
So in a sense, something is trying to tell us to let it go, but we fighting and holding on to it.
Yeah, that too. But we've been more than willing to let other things go though. So we let country go.
Hip-hop.
We let rock and roll go. we let jazz go. We let everything go. But
we didn't let R&B go either.
Oh, R&B as well. But hell, that's trauma. Singing about you breaking up. It used to be in R&B you sung about, in a way, it was more religious. Sang about the Creator. That was gospel. No, that was gospel.
Oh.
Gospel turned into R&B when we started singing more secular and more about our loved one, our woman, and all this other stuff. That's been bastardized now where people making songs called "This Hoes Ain't Loyal." Like people sing R&B now talking about how much they don't like the person they're in love with. It's the opposite of what it was mainly for. So this became trauma based.
Trauma.
Hell, who started that? Mary J. Blige. But anyway, now I'm gonna talk about this right here. In 2018, and this is like just stuff that's a coincidence, In 2018, Takeoff released a solo album called "The Last Rocket." Well, he was killed in Houston. Well, the sports team is the Houston Rockets. Now, that's just a coincidence. That's not a big deal. That's just what it is. Let me show something else. As I said earlier, November 1st and 2nd typically are celebrated as Day of the Dead, but like Travis says, they do it on the 6th as well. But look at this right here. This is Jazz Prince. This is at the Halloween party. What is he wearing? He's wearing the Day of the Dead painting. He's the only one.
Yeah.
It's a coincidence, I guess. Let me show some more. Now, Migos, when they first came out, their most popular, their first song that really popped them off nationally, hell, even internationally, was a song called Versace. They put the song out. It was really popular, especially in the South. And then Drake did a remix of it. and it turned into a big hit. So this was the song that truly introduced them to the world, thanks to Drake. Now, Drake has ties to J. Prince Jr. That's the one who found him and introduced him to Lil Wayne and Birdman, who signed him and pushed him to the masses. So the man who introduced the world to Migos was introduced through J. Prince Jr. Okay. As you can see, there you go, Jacob Prince and J. Prince Jr. and Drake. And he got something on his shirt. You said it said one of these people can have your soul. Have your soul. Now remember,
what's his name?
People call him crazy, but what's his name?
From That's So Raven.
The dude from That's So Raven. Orlando Johnson or Orlando, something Orlando. I forgot his name. He said that these celebrities,
Orlando Brown. He said that these people like to replace you in your own body, which is literally Get Out. That's literally what Get Out is about. So it's funny he got that straight on, saying one of these people could save your soul.
No, one of these people can have your soul.
You think it's have or save?
Okay, you're right. Might be save your soul.
All right. This is him. Jay Prince is the one who they say convinced Drake and Kanye to end their quote-unquote feud.
Beef.
Yeah. Now, Versace, that is the clothing line, obviously. But they have their logo of Versace, the clothing, is a Medusa. So when you go to this right here, Medusa was one of three sisters called Gargo, but Medusa was the only one that could die. The other two were, you couldn't kill them. So these three sisters, only one could die. The other two could not be killed. All right. This is the person who killed her. I'm not even going to go too deep into this because I need another 2 weeks to really go further into that. Now, what about Migos and the three sisters who all, maybe I should read that part. Let me read that part. Gargons is a creature in Greek mythology. Gargons occur in the earliest examples of Greek literature. While descriptions of Gargons vary, the term mostly commonly refers to three sisters who are described as having hair made of living venomous snakes and horrifying visages that turned those who beheld them to stone. Traditionally, two of the Gorgons were immortal, but their sister Medusa was not and was slain by the demigod and hero Perseus. Now, what does the Migos and the Gargons or Medusa and her sisters have in common?
Dreads.
The hair. Their hair looks like snakes. When you look at this picture here, Offset here with his hands across his mouth.
He'll never tell the secrets.
It's telling you that he will never tell the secrets.
Of the school of mystery of Babylon.
Now, it just so happened that one of these were killed and the other two weren't. I'm going to leave it at that.
Why did Offset choose to leave?
Because he wanted to get out of the deal, apparently. He got out of his deal, he got out of his deal that he had. And he wasn't allowed to make any albums with them because they were still signed. So that's why he, quote unquote, left the group. Now, you brought up a great point. Now, this guy here, Perseus, he says he is a son of Zeus and the immortal Danae. That's a woman. She was a human. As well as the half-brother and great-grandfather of Hercules.
So,
Quavo's
half-brother was there.
Half-brother was there as security.
They have to play out these whole rituals in Greek mythology. They have to play these roles in Hollywood.
Now, Travis came up with a crazy, crazy conspiracy. I couldn't even come up with this one. Go ahead and tell him. This is not him saying this was going to happen. This is just spitballing.
Well, first I said, do you believe that since Takeoff died, that Offset is going to get back in the group with Quavo? And you said possibly yes.
We're probably gonna do some songs together now.
So I said, is it crazy that Cardi B will become the third member of Migos? Now also Migos.
Well, hold on. When you say member, do you mean she's simply gonna start doing music with them, or officially be called a member?
She's gonna start doing music with them. I'm not gonna say she's gonna become
a member.
A member.
Yeah.
Is Cardi B somehow involved with Takeoff in this ritual?
Now,
because you remember.
Now, hold on. This is once we talked about this on a surface level, black on black crime, killing somebody over a dice game, how stupid that is, and the cultural problems. But on a deeper level, these celebrities are into much, stranger things, as they say. So, you saying that she has something to do with it?
Remember, they saying that people was on Twitter stuff asking Cardi B, why haven't you come out and said anything about Takeoff? You said something about that dude, what's his name, P&R Rock, and all this stuff, and she didn't say anything. Madame Noir, the magazine, actually came out and defended her, saying Cardi B doesn't have to say anything. And I was like, why this black magazine doing a article on Cardi B not commenting on Takeoff? What is the big deal?
Why wasn't he speaking more on
Offset? I said because she got her hand in this. That's why.
I don't know. I think not enough stuff has happened yet. It's only been a week. It hasn't been a week. I'm sorry, not a week. When does it happen? November 1st. What's today?
Today is November 5th.
The 5th, so it's only been 4 days. So,
and this picture right here explains everything.
Yeah, so when I was looking at this, I was looking at the three-headed, deities and stuff, and I found the Trinity, which is Horus, Osiris, and Isis. And I said, man,
that's Cardi.
And I brought this up last night.
And Offset.
I brought this up last night, and then he said what he said about Cardi, and I was like, is that supposed to be Isis?
Yeah, she acts Isis.
All right. So another thing I found was this. This is the Trinity. And now most people in America, especially in the West, when they hear Trinity, they think of the Bible or Christianity, should I say? It's not in the Bible, but Christianity teaches the what's it called? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, that's it. That's the Trinity.
Well, that is a code thing that was created that is not in the scriptures. That is from the Babylonians. That's Nimrod, his wife, and his son. Then you have
the Catholic Church teaches that.
Yeah, Catholic. That's mainly Catholic teaching. So this right here is the Tamir. How you said? What's this word? This is the Trinity. This is Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the preserver, and Shiva is the destroyer.
So,
matter of fact, you can just put that one together yourself. It kind of tells you everything based off of that one. But then I want to show this right here because there's a lot of this going on. It seems the last couple. Now this is a Nigerian. What's his name? What they call them? Afrobeat artist or Afrobeats. I don't know which one. It's Afrobeat and Afrobeats ain't the same apparently.
Now, y'all know I be talking shit about Nigerians. When I saw this, when you told me about this, I said it's trending. A Nigerian Afrobeat person's son dying is trending in America. When Afrobeats, I'm gonna speak for myself. I believe it's not a popular genre of music in the Americas.
But there's Nigerians in America.
There are Nigerians in America, but for it to be trending here, it's like
if there's Nigerians here, they're gonna tweet about it. It's gonna be trending.
So when I saw this, I automatically said he sacrificed his son. It's clear as day.
Davido's young son drowns. Nigerian police question staff.
No, they should be questioning his ass on how he drowned.
So
allegedly.
This
is all alleged.
And I'm trying to get out of it now. Saying allegedly. Here we go, this shit.
Oh, here go the, hey guys, sorry I'm late. No notification.
Hey, that's how they do it. MGK from Ohio. It's mainly LA and Texas. He was born in Houston but grew up in Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland. I know I wasn't crazy.
He's from Texas though. He's born in Texas.
Nah, ain't the same. He ain't lying. He carrying ESPN. I'm sorry I didn't get to this earlier, man. I was going through that stuff. We trying to make sure this time we don't spend 3 hours on something. Okay. I know what they're doing too. Wow. I know exactly what they're doing. You see that?
What?
I still gotta tell you about it. Wow. That's crazy. Look at this. Dwyane Wade's ex-wife files petition objecting to legally change daughter Zaya's name. Look, man, we celebrated. Well, we didn't celebrate that hard, but the world was okay when we saw his ex-wife sitting on the side of the street with a sign saying that Dwyane Wade is making her poor and all this other stuff. And he got control of his custody of his 2 sons. We was like, yeah, black man got this crazy woman, and it's good that he got custody of his children.
Little did you know he had big plans for Zion.
And his name was Zion.
That's the wickedest thing you could do.
That's like an analogy. Not an analogy.
That's a slap in the face to the Most High.
That's like comparable to what's happening to the people. How they once Zion, now they're Zaya. They're different. The name is different. They're not the same people. They've been turned into bastards. They've been hit with wickedness. Like it's really comparable to the real Zion. But anyway, I can't say that first name. You know how to say that first name? Siovaughn. Funches Wade. Siovaughn.
Siovaughn. Obviously, Siovaughn.
All right. Alleged the recent filings of Dwyane Wade petition to profit from the minor's child name and gender change of their 15-year-old daughter, Zaya Wade.
15-year-old daughter.
That's what they called her. Him. Dwyane Wade's ex-wife has filed a petition objecting to legally changing the name and gender of their daughter, Zaya, alleging that the former NBA star is positioned to profit from the change and expressing concerns that he may be pressuring Zaya for financial gain. The former athlete, 40, first spoke about his ex-wife, 15-year-old daughter coming out as transgender as a 2020 episode of the Ellen DeGenerate Show. Degenerate Show.
She's a degenerate.
At the time, Wade noted that his child had decided to go by the name Zaya and was referred to by she, her pronouns. According to a document obtained by People, Funches Wade petition was filed Tuesday in the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, as an objection to the initial petition Wade filed in August to legally change Zaya's name. In Funches Wade recent filing, the 41-year-old claims that Wade is positioned to profit from the minor's child's name and gender change with various companies through contacts and marketing opportunities, including but not limited to deals with Disney.
Well, we know that Disney is pushing heavily.
Oh, are they planning on putting
Zaya in a movie?
In a Disney movie?
Gonna be the first transgender black princess?
Would they really do that?
Yes, they would do that. You know they'd do some shit like that.
Wow. I have concerns that Dwyane will be pressuring our child to move forward with the name and gender change in order to capitalize on the financial opportunities that he has received from companies. Wait. Capitalize on the financial opportunities that he has received from companies. She's saying he's already been paid.
She's telling the truth. And he looked just like him.
Look, he looked like a spitting image of Wade. It's crazy.
I also say this is Dwyane Wade living out his the life he never got to have as well.
I remember when the Miami Heat, when he had LeBron, Bosh, and Wade there, and everybody used to call Chris Bosh gay because his mannerisms. They would say, "Oh, he doing some real weird looking stuff. He's looking fruity." And the whole time, it might have been the guy you thought was the smooth,
it was
calm,
Deja
control
Wade.
guy. Huh?
Deja Wade.
Deja Wade.
Yeah, but see,
oh man, now I want to show this.
This was crazy.
This is crazy. How long have we been doing this so far? Hopefully, I want to do that in under an hour 30. Let's see.
Yeah, it was done in under an hour.
There you go.
30.
We got through it. See? It ain't gonna be no 2 hours, but it's not gonna be 4 hours.
It ain't gonna be 3.5.
All right. Now, this next thing we want to talk about is Choke No Joke interviewed Math Hoffa. Math Hoffa is the former, well, I don't know if he still do it, but former battle rapper turned podcaster of My Expert Opinion. Him and his co-host recently announced, well, they didn't recently do it, but they had a breakup, and the co-host came out and spoke about it, saying he wasn't paying them money and all this other stuff. So that's why he's going on this interview tour with a lot of smaller channels to control the narrative, you know. But Choke No Joke had the best interview with him because he had a conversation with him on certain things that made him reveal who, you know, certain real realities that he believed. So Choke asked him about Fat Joe and saying the word nigga and why guys like him, because Choke is a guy who's 50. Math Hoffa, I think he said he's 38. And Choke is like, why you got this Spanish dude saying nigga? Why y'all let him get a pass for that? I had a Spanish babysitter from when I was a kid, and she never ever, her or her kids ever called me nigga. Never used that word. So why y'all okay with it? And they went into a discussion about it. I'm going to show it now. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like I was saying, I don't know if you caught it, like y'all were a good collective. You know what I'm saying? You can't take a day off. Because if he leave the show, then it's going to turn into something different. Nah. You are the protagonist. You like I said, you ride the fence. You know what I'm saying? A nigga sit there and say some bullshit, and you'll let them check the bullshit, and you like, I ain't
Choke. I check the bullshit.
Now I see sometimes.
I'm not the nigga laughing and joking and touching. I'm not the nigga that's on the show laughing, joking, and touching niggas' shoulders. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Like when Savage came on the show and he was like, you know, I can't let a nigga, two of my homies beef. I feel like a fake nigga. And I'm like, yo, okay, so how that work for NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk?
Right.
And he was stuck. Yo, shout out to Savage, but he was stuck. He was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But bro, I mean, I can't give a good example right now. I know it was one of these Fat Joe things that Fat Joe said. And y'all was all like, y'all always looking like Joe.
Nigga, my nigga, have you been around Fat Joe? This nigga's captivating, bro. When this nigga tells the story, he's captivating. This nigga gonna tell you what year it was, what kind of kicks he was wearing, what kind of coat. You know what I'm saying? Who was outside that day, how much money he had in his pocket. He might show you. He might pull it out and just show you, like, you know what I mean? Like, that nigga's captivating, bro. Joe deserves his platform. He deserves all his props, my nigga. He's storytelling. Bro, I could sit around and listen to Fat Joe all day, bro. All day. So if in some episodes I do fan out, it's because I've really been fans of these niggas.
I know it. I can see that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the other niggas come in. Because sometimes I'll be like, yo, sometimes you be making me mad. I'll be like, yo, like Fat Joe said, he went to school every day and fought 20 niggas every day. And I'm sitting there looking at y'all like, which one of y'all gonna say, Fat Joe, you fought 20 niggas? Them niggas in your projects is pussy. If they fought 20 niggas every day and they didn't beat your ass, 20 niggas every day. Like, come on, my nigga.
You know what time it was back then, bro. Like, I used to have to fight niggas every day. 20 niggas might be a little excessive.
Okay.
Might be a little excessive, but you know what it is.
I know Showbiz and Lord Finesse and all these niggas. I had a girlfriend in Forest Project. He was not beating up 20 black niggas every day going over to John Adams or whatever.
He didn't say whether they was black. He didn't say whether they was Spanish. He didn't say who it was.
He said niggas.
Bruh, like Spanish niggas in the Bronx use niggas like they use guy.
Okay, so when he's saying niggas and he's mad and he's saying niggas,
they call each other niggas, my nigga. You know that.
Let me tell you something, brother. My babysitter is a Puerto Rican. Right. I live across from my mother. that raised me since I couldn't. So I only had, from probably birth to about 5, I only knew how to speak Spanish for a minute, right? She has never called me a nigga in her fucking life. Her fucking kids have never called me nigga, even as a slang.
Now, I was telling you, there are black people in New York who didn't go for that, who still
few and little
don't go for that.
That shit's like saying God or some man or whatever.
So you think, so if you think that if Spik became nigga, that you'll be cool and comfortable calling your Spanish homie Spiks?
Nah, cause Spik don't got the same history that nigga does. It don't.
I don't even know if we could say that on YouTube.
They said it.
Okay. Spik does not have the same, it's far less. When I looked up Spik, it said the derogatory word means a Spanish person, instead of saying speak, they said speak.
Yeah, Spik.
So that, and they got picked on because of saying it instead of using the
basically
word.
they got picked on for not
saying
pronouncing
the proper word.
Yeah. So they called them that. And it's like, that's comparable to
being called a.
Now we know the word nigger or nigger has a different meaning than what it gained in America or the Western society. But the connotation it was given to black people in America is far worse than
Spik literally means speak. So how does that work? I don't understand.
That's what he had to say.
I said,
nigga, Niger, all that shit.
If became the slang like nigga, if Spik replaced nigga and we made it a slang, would you be cool with calling your Spanish friends Spik?
Me personally, probably not, because
But they can call you nigga. Like,
this the problem when you have black
and he is
tethers come over here, and we being nice and letting them say the word, and then they give passes to white Spanish people. I'm gonna say white Spanish people. I'm not gonna put it on the black tethers that are Spanish.
Wait, there's such thing as a black tether?
Well, tethers. Sorry, I'm trying to differentiate. I'm not talking about the black Spanish people. I'm talking about the white
tether.
ones.
You need to stop using that word.
They get to say it. That's crazy.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mantop is Dominican. But yeah.
I know how it was used back in the days, and it might be tough for me to forget that. But you talking about this niggas out here.
Nigga.
No, you go to Harlem. Harlem niggas be calling each other dick. Like it's regular.
What?
They be like, yo, what up, dick? What the fuck is you talking to?
What?
These niggas, they like, come on, this slang, there's different slangs all over in Cali, they call each other fool. I like to think of myself as a smart nigga. I wouldn't like nobody coming around, what up, fool?
I don't know, the reason why I asked that is because, like, when I was growing up, right? All
right, so I'm gonna skip this part. So basically, he went on to say he wouldn't say Spik even if it became a slang.
Because it's offensive to the Hispanic people.
But then he went on to say this right here.
Coming up, and we on the block, we above us. The ones
it's
different era.
Well, he probably don't fuck with German shit.
You know what I'm saying? If they still living. You know what I'm saying? You don't never see Jesse Jackson running around talking about my nigga. Because he come from a different era.
But he probably don't fuck with German Shepherds either.
That was so disrespectful.
He referencing
the dogs attacking black people during the civil rights movement. That was so. And you could look at Choke's face like, did he just?
And he should have checked that shit.
It's a sign of the times, right? But the era that I came up in, nigga was like saying guy.
It's like that now, yeah. But you ain't like, I'm not gonna be running around calling nobody a dick. I would never get to that comfortable point where I'm referring to my homeboy as Dick.
You might not, but you did get to the point where nigga became comfortable for you.
Yeah, but
that's not even close to comparable. That anyway, I'm showing in the show the mindset that some people have. It's just
No, not some people.
what you mean?
The black immigrant.
It ain't just the black immigrant now. Protesters forced to leave LA's council meeting as calls for resignation continue. They still ain't
So
resigned.
they had the police there.
They still ain't resigned.
They brought the police into the.
Yes. They escorted the protesters out of the council meeting. And the dude, what's his name? Kevin DeLeon, whatever.
Aaron Carter found dead at 34.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know who that
It's
is.
sacrifice season.
I don't know who that is.
His brother was in the group NSYNC. He's a singer too.
I don't know.
And he's the one that sang the song that we were talking about last week. I don't want another.
Oh, that's
break.
him?
That's him.
Hello. Well, that's crazy. We literally
talked
sang
about
that
him last
song.
week and he did. Wow.
Be careful. But Council President Paul whatever issued several warnings, noting that the meeting cannot proceed with disruption before police and riot gear moved in and forced the protesters to leave. They still ain't fired him. I'm sorry, not fired. He still ain't resigned. Well,
like they said in the recording.
Yeah, we are basically we the majority. They're a small minority, just loud. So I'm not gonna resign. At some point, when it's time to vote, people that my people gonna keep voting for me because they know based off of them calls, I stand with them.
Exactly.
Now look at this. Julia Roberts reveals Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King paid the hospital bill for her birth. What? This is a strange story. Like, and how the hell did Martin Luther King and Coretta just so happen to just pay for her to be delivered, basically, and she turns into some actor? There is a connection with everybody in the industry. Somehow there's a connection. A previous little known fact about Julia Roberts is now widely known thanks to social media. It has started recently when a Twitter user shared a complication video of Roberts writing Martin Luther King Jr. paying for her birth is still a little known fact that sends me. A few days later, in honor of Robert's 55th birthday on October 28, consultant Zara Rahim tweeted a clip of Roberts sharing the story about her birth with journalist Gayle King, no relation to Dr. King. Roberts explained that Dr. King and his wife, Coretta Scott King, took care of the hospital expenses since her parents couldn't pay the bill. Our parents had a theater school in Atlanta called the Actors and Writers Workshop, Roberts said, and one day Coretta Scott King called my mother and asked if her kids could be part of the school because they were having a hard time finding a place that would accept her kids. Robert's mother said sure, and thus began a friendship between the civil rights leaders and Walter and Betty Lou Roberts.
So that's the connection.
That's the connection. That led to King's paying for the birth of a woman who could go on to become an international star. They helped us a lot. They helped us out of a jam, Julia Roberts said.
So Martin Luther King kids wanted to be actors and writers?
Well, they actors and writers now.
Yeah. Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott was actors and writers. She was acting like she didn't know, and he was
acting like he didn't care.
Exactly.
All right. MSNBC cuts ties unexpectedly with weekend host Tiffany Cross. It's funny, we just talked about her 2 weeks ago with the special she had with the what's the guy's name? He had a show where he was talking about black male voters and how they feel, and we were talking about how they're now using the talking points from black men online.
Social media.
Yeah. Tiffany Cross disheartened by MSNBC ouster, says my work is not done. Tiffany Cross, MSNBC weekend host who
she'll be on the route or the griot. She'll go to the griot.
Oh no, she's gonna be on the griot. What do they call it? The one that Black News Channel used to own. She's gonna be on that griot, the griot politics
on YouTube. They're gonna throw her ass on YouTube.
Why does it sound bad? But it's not.
She did all that work for the Democratic Party.
She said that black men were voting for their oppressor if they vote Republican.
Well, your oppressor got your ass out of there. You no longer need it. The midterm elections is done.
Yeah,
Speaking of the midterm elections,
Huh?
I still ain't seen no polls. Have y'all seen polls on?
When you look at midterm elections, all they show you is,
they had it the day before yesterday. They was showing the polls, and now everything is 0%. Reminds me of the 20.
Is going to impact the
And I
Pennsylvania
remember
race.
when you showed it to me, it showed that Beto O'Rourke won in Texas.
That's right.
It said 99% Beto O'Rourke expected to win. It said he won in Texas.
Now
it's saying 0-0. It hasn't happened yet. Like, we know it hasn't happened, but how the hell were you telling us that Beto O'Rourke won just yesterday?
Sounds like a deja vu.
Let me show you.
2022.
Now, this is MSNBC.
No, it's 2020.
Oh yeah. This is the MSNBC talking about black voters. And you know who they bring on to talk about black voters? They bring on Al Sharpton,
the perming expert.
No,
how to lay your hair down.
The perm cocaine dealing.
Whoa, that's alleged. Whoa.
The perm cocaine dealing snitching.
No, I ain't going for that.
And he's supposed to be a pastor too, Reverend Snitch.
He's the pastor off of Don't Be a Menace to Society while drinking your juice in the
Oh
hood.
yeah. Here at the Great Ebenezer New Revival Tree of Life Institutional Double Rock on the side of the road of the Jericho Missionary Baptist Church
Y'all
of
didn't hear
Zion. Did I say Mount Calvary? Y'all don't hear me. All right, let me play this.
That again, we talked about how crime is going to impact the Pennsylvania races one way or the other. Even if Fetterman wins,
Right.
This Negro got on makeup.
They got to do what they got to do, man.
Damn.
What the hell?
it's tighter because of crime. And I remember we had 4 black voters in Elise's focus group saying, hey, crime is the issue. We're afraid to go to work. We're afraid to come home. And
Is he reading the
I didn't know if that was Reverend Al Sharpton or Maxine Waters. How I knew is because it was Reverend Al Sharpton's real hair. They want a wig.
Wow. Wow. That was crazy. Wow. Wow.
Is that Auntie Max or is that Reverend Al Sharpton? I don't know.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
Afterwards, people are like, oh, it's racist to talk about crime, right? This Pew poll comes out yesterday that shows among Democrats, 85, I believe it's 85% of black voters pick crime as a top issue. 81% of black Democrats say crime is a top issue. And look at that, white voters, it says 56% of white voters, but in the Democratic Party, only 33% of white Democrats. And this explains so much of what you've been trying to tell us and teach us for 2 years, that white woke latte liberals sit in Park Slope and say, oh, don't talk about crime, that's racist. While you say everybody in the congregation is telling you crime's a top issue.
Wait, now the left is talking shit about the woke people?
The leftists are talking shit about the damn liberals.
Yeah.
Well, they've been the progressive. They've been going after them.
Yeah. So damn. So now you got the right wingers that talk about the woke stuff, and now you got the left people saying
The
about
Democratic Party is fucked up. They
They
going
don't know
against
what
one another.
They don't got no message. They just like don't vote for them, vote for us. Pretty much. It's crazy.
Blah 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 blah.
All right, let me show this. Now, New York Governor Kathy Hochul says her opponent in GOP are being dishonest about crime.
Didn't she
and
lose?
They haven't had the what's called yet.
Oh.
Now they haven't they didn't they changed the headline. The original headline said that that they accused the GOP of pushing a crime conspiracy theory. That was the original headline. And it was like, wait, is she saying crime is a conspiracy theory? Like crime doesn't exist? So they changed the headline. But this was her saying how they're being dishonest, how it's not as bad as they think. We know it's a big deal issue, but it's not as bad as they're saying it is. And this is New York, where we just saw a video of a person getting pushed in front of a damn train. We see people getting robbed, smacked on can. Like, this is New York. It's crazy in New York. Like,
It's funny how the most expensive places
are the worst places to live.
New York,
California,
and Seattle.
Or we'll say Washington. We'll just say Washington.
You know, Seattle like to feel like they're their own little...
Yeah, but they're not. You're part of the global. You're part of the state.
Washington State, California, and New York are the top 3 places to live.
No, not
the
to
highest
live.
places
Yeah, most
to
expensive,
live.
yeah.
And they have the worst crime right now going on.
Oh, Lord. Look at this right here. They still talking about this. We, a couple days out from the vote. Damn. Black men say they feel ignored by politicians. A historic Senate face-off between 2 black men isn't helping. Aaron Bethea says he voted election after election for U.S. presidents, governors, and senators, yet those lawmakers have done little to him and nothing to prove life for him, his family, or his community. Bethea said he believes the issues he cares about, financial freedom and equal investment in predominantly black schools, have largely been ignored. Where we from, nobody really cares about what black men think, said Bethea, the Atlanta father of 6 who owns a wholesale company that sells television. They don't do anything for us. Bethea, 40, said she still plans to vote Democratic.
It's just Bethea, ain't it?
Yeah, Bethea. Why? Bethea, 40, said he still plans to vote Democratic in Georgia's hotly contested gubernatorial and U.S. Senate races. But you just said they don't listen. You think they don't listen to you. They don't care what you think, but you're still voting for him. I don't get it. But he's not voting with enthusiasm. He says he is hoping that one day someone will prioritize the needs of black men. One day.
That's that same Negro spiritual
that's
thing he's saying. That's that, one day we'll get ours.
How do you say it? That's that Negro spiritual spirit.
We'll get ours when we go up in heaven and the cities is gold and where we live. That's what he's saying.
Wine and honey. Boy.
Why even have him in this article if he's not going to say he's not voting if he don't get anything, what's the word I'm looking for? What? Tangible.
Yeah,
if you're not getting anything tangible, I'm not voting.
But there is not alone. Political analysts, researchers, and black male leaders say politicians are failing to reach some black men with messaging that resonates with them and visibly in their communities. Those shortcomings could particularly hurt Democrats in the upcoming midterms, giving black men are the second most loyal voting bloc for the party next to black women, experts say. And while black men have increasingly supported Republicans in recent years, and some say the GOP is still missing the mark, many black men said they are concerned that Georgia's Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker does not represent them in a positive light, given his many public gaffes, history of domestic violence, and being an absentee father.
Well, Warnock is accused of the same thing.
No, he wasn't.
He's accused of not paying child support.
That's it.
He's accused of being a slumlord and putting people out on the streets.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But why are they not talking about Warnock's history?
But is this is a real critique, though. This is our real critiques. This is not just, talking points. These are real. The absentee father, he was. Domestic violence, we don't know if that's true. He was just accused of that. But he's been shown to be hypocritical. Like
it was shown that Warnock child support payments.
I'm not defending him. I'm saying these are good critiques, aren't they?
Dude, what
No, can you answer that part?
No, these are not good critiques. However, we should not want this. What I'm saying is every politician got some shit with them. Ain't nobody perfect.
This not perfect. This is different from not perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
This is not. Hold on. This is far from not perfect.
Every politician got some shit with them.
Yes,
they have something
I know.
They have to be. First of all, they be running up to be considered elected because they got to have dirt on their ass when they need it.
Yeah, that too.
So you doing wishful thinking.
I'm wishing on a star. Political analysis worried that the lack of effective messaging could result in black men sitting home on November 8th, and Democrats like Stacey Abrams, who has made a late attempt to reach black men with a series of events, losing their races. If some of them feel unmotivated because they don't feel spoken to, then you've really got a problem. Jason Nichols, a professor at African American Studies at the University of Maryland, College Park. A lot of these campaigns don't hire black male advisors. They don't hire black men to actually tell them how to reach black men. So far, 39% of black voters have been men and 61% have been women. According to Catalyst, the company that provides data and other services to Democrats, academics, and nonprofit issue advocacy organizations, and giving insight into who is voting before November. Those breakdowns were the same at this point in the early voting period in 2020.
So black men still feel in the same spot. They still feel unmotivated to vote, and nothing ain't gonna change.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Sonny Hostin likens white women who vote GOP to roaches voting for Raid.
Look at. Hold on. Go back up real quick. I know this off subject. What to shop now in the corner? Once again, they have the white family, and they have what? Like two female legs.
I don't know. I think that's 2 kids. I think that's 3 siblings.
They never show black family in commercial ads.
So now they calling white women roaches. Damn, boy, it's getting bad, ain't it? All right. Top Georgia Democrat snub Stacey Abrams endorses Republican Brian Kemp. This is, wow. A top Democrat in Georgia has chosen to shun his party's gubernatorial nominee, Stacey Abrams, and instead throw his support behind incumbent Republican Governor Brian Kemp and the Republican candidate for Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones.
So what is he telling us? He's voting for the person's policies and what they've done or what they're doing versus it being what?
Or that too. Or she's just voting against Stacey Abrams because he don't want her in there.
Well, I'm gonna go with this.
Look,
I'm gonna go with
now you're giving them leeway.
Voting
okay,
for somebody based on their policies and what they're doing for the community, not just based on she's a black woman.
He gonna get his ass whooped, not physically, but he gonna get his ass whooped as far as getting a tongue lashing. They're gonna go in on his ass if she lose that race.
If she lose, she gonna lose.
I'm just saying, if she lose that race, they gonna say this is what lost her the race right here. Black man not voting for her and a black man supporting the white male candidate. They're gonna say, oh, they look at themselves as male before black.
Well, Stacey looks at herself as a female before black.
Now this is written in the Atlantic. Democrats keep falling for superstar losers. They've been a better time to lose. There's never been a better time to lose an election. So basically what they're saying is in previous years, if you were a person that was constantly losing your elections, you would get thrown away. The party would just stop
but they keep
endorsing
running them.
But they keep running the people in their party who's losing. Because the people that are losing are the ones who are the extremists who they want in office to push certain policies.
They must can't find nobody else to do what O'Burke and Stacey want to do.
Yeah. So here, black men a key voting bloc leave Georgia governor's race an open question. As the rematch between, we talked about this already, black men are fixed as one of the most race central flow. Now, the fact that you can write all this stuff now.
It's too late.
2 weeks before the election. I mean, you could have been talking about this literally a year ago.
It means we're telling you this 2 weeks because we weren't ever planning on giving you anything tangible for your vote. We just let you know, hey.
We just let you know you got to go vote.
Get your ass off the couch and go down there and vote for us.
Yeah. Could you please, we know you don't pay your child support. Can you please go vote? Twitter layoffs gutted election information team days before midterm. So Elon Musk fired, I think 40% of his staff, or he fired a whole bunch of people. And how he fired them, by the way, he didn't let them come into office and fire them. He wiped their at-home laptops while they were at work, while they were at home. He didn't let them come into the buildings. So he fired them while they were out. Because he knew that if he fired them when they were in the building, they would have probably had a protest and he would have had to negotiate with them. He wouldn't have been able to fire them. So he did it while they weren't at work. While they weren't at work. He wiped their shit while they was at home. So they found out they was fired. They couldn't come back to the building. They can't use their little car to get in the door no more.
They go tap it.
And now the Democrats are saying, oh no, this is dangerous because the elections are coming, midterms election, and we got to worry about this misinformation that's going to be happening on Twitter.
This misinformation shit need to go away. We tired of it.
They're not going to get rid of it. Twitter co-founder apologized for growing company too quickly. Devastating cuts to Twitter's workforce on Friday, 4 days before the midterm elections, are fueling anxieties among political campaigns, state Democratic, and election officers that have counted on the social network staff to help them combat violent threats and viral lies. The mass layoffs Friday gutted teams devoted to combating election misinformation, adding context to misleading tweets, and communicating with journalists, public officials, and campaign staffs. Now, why would a social media company need to have contact with journalists, public officials, and campaign staff?
So they can tell you what to put out there.
Exactly.
And what not
So
to put
you
out
can
there.
tell us what to take off the internet, what to block, what pages to get rid of. How you gonna tell me what's a lie? You might be lying.
Yeah, a lie don't care who tell it.
How the hell am I just believe you? All right. Stacey Abrams, happy Halloween.
This video right here explains exactly why black men do not want to vote for Stacey Abrams.
I'm gonna play this video, and we're not even gonna say nothing at first. I'm just let it play.
Hi, happy Halloween. Okay, let's see. There you are. Oh my gosh. You gotta say it to me. Come on, zombie. Oh my goodness, aren't you so adorable? And you're fuzzy too. Oh no. Here comes my math friend. Absolutely. You would like something in your basket. You have to say the words. You gotta say it loud enough. What are the words? Trick or treat. Oh, you've got no mouth. You cannot say it. I will assume you want a trick or a treat. Oops. Wait, there's a speller behind you? Yeah. Okay. I will say this without making eye contact. I love people who can spell because words are amazing and they don't make you have to talk to people, do they? The night up to an honor set. Come. Let's just take a picture together. Might I gift you candy? Hey guys! Oh my God, I will give you this as a favor and this as well. My good sir. What do you have to say? What are the magic words?
I hope you become...
Well, that works. What do you want?
Okay, if anybody saw that video, y'all already know where we going to. I'm finna set her ass up.
First off, who is this?
Instead of Hoppo, we're gonna say Sophia. Who this woman?
Who that woman? Now, people are, I don't know if this party wanted her people on her campaign. I don't know.
No, you want me to say it for us?
Go ahead.
That's her old lady.
That's her boo thing.
That's her boo thing. That's why we've been saying this whole time. Who's Stacey with? We ain't seen Stacey with nobody.
Oh my God. Second thing we want to talk about. First off, she said my math friend and the Asians came. Ain't that racist?
Who did that? Another person did that to. I swear, another person did that to a candidate did that to an Asian person.
You mean what's his name? Dude from New York. He said I'm good at math.
But anyway.
Oh, when he lied about a black dude. Yeah, when a black dude supposedly was pushing up on somebody, an old Asian person, and Yang got in between it and stopped him from doing it. And then they found out that he was the same dude that was a part of some other thing, that he probably was an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So how wasn't that considered a hate crime? Look at this right here. Now the little boy came up. She wasn't as
her voice wasn't as chipper.
No, it wasn't as chipper. She was more demanding. Say it. And then
her voice went from very high to it was a little low.
And then she threw the boy candy on the goddamn floor.
Ground. Yeah, she threw it.
She threw the boy candy on the floor.
Now she told him, open your mouth. I assume you want a trick or treat. That little girl can't talk either.
She didn't talk either.
But she didn't make her.
Now watch this right here. Then
the white
little boy caught him. He was a costume not as good either.
He's the knight.
He's a knight. Oh, she want to give him a picture.
Knight in shiny armor.
She said, "Sir," and she even bowed to the boy.
She bowed because one day she know he gonna be the master. That's why she bowed to him.
That was crazy. I'm sorry. That was just.
She put out the worst
that was
shit for her campaign. It wasn't a good.
When you talk about that was a terrible.
She's supposed to grab that little black boy, give him the tightest hug, give him a little extra candy, not showing it on camera, but off camera.
Yeah.
That's what she's supposed to do.
No, she would have had to show that on camera, but yeah.
You supposed to be targeting black men to.
He said, it has a little black boy.
But little black. She said his ass can't vote.
I ain't finna kiss no ass nobody that can't vote.
This little niglet can't vote.
Little nigga can't reach the ballot. Fuck him.
Get that spook out of here.
Oh shit! Damn little spooks. All right, with affirmative action in Supreme Court peril, changes could ripple beyond schools. We already talked about this.
We all know it. Well,
you have to get rid of it so you know who your enemy is. If they don't want to hire you,
then they tell you that
you got to build within. We've done it before. That's what everybody's talking about right now. the Supreme Court. Now, this is once again the same thing they did with Roe v. Wade. They announced it late 2021, but the decision wasn't made until 2022. So they're announcing this late 2022, but the decision won't be made till 2023.
I think when you fill out when you go into these jobs, you go into applying for jobs, whether it be especially let's say not in person, like if you're applying for something over the internet, you don't have to put your race down.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get hired, then they can put down what your ethnic is, so they can gather data of how many, because you know they like to gather how many people they have working here by. Why not just do it like that?
But see, the reason why people are saying something is they're like, well, they'll hire you or invite you in for a meeting or interview, and you get there and they go, and they just don't hire you. Or you do get hired, and then for whatever reason they can have any reason to fire you, and you can't sue them for discrimination.
Well, that's on the book. They can hire you. They don't have to have an excuse to hire you. So,
but you know, so this is the dude made an argument why they should get rid of it. He said that these are not real laws. The civil rights law is not a real law. It is a pseudo law, and real laws can only be upstanded through laws that connect with it. So basically, he made an argument that you need to don't try to use a band-aid of affirmative action. You need to, instead of worry about colleges letting people in, you need to fix K through 12 before you worry about college. So he was making the argument that you need to get rid of it, the Princeton. So we know who really is against it: Asians. Supreme Court probably will bungle affirmative action cases. Now this is the guy. I'm sorry, the last one out there. This is the guy who made the argument that you need to worry about K through 12 and not college, saying that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is pseudo law. It's not real law.
So one could say, well, damn, they going back and seem like they're going back and overturning all these. Started with abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're doing affirmative action. And black people are looking like, I know damn well y'all not talking about unabolishing slavery.
No, that's not. That's not the Civil Rights Act. That's abolished. That's
I know. And what I'm saying is that type of stuff starts to pop off.
Yeah,
pop in people's mind.
Like you don't get your ass.
Don't get too happy with going back and redoing all this shit.
All right, now I want to show this right here.
All right, y'all. If you're in Charlotte right now or in the Carolinas, you're seeing a lot of posts going around that it's a serial killer on the loose. Check these posts out here, y'all. This is from Charlotte Alerts. It's a group that really report different murders in the city. But it's been 6 murders of women, y'all, within a week and a half, 2 weeks. And they finding bodies around the city of women. Nobody's being caught, to my knowledge. So people are starting to panic, like, hey, do we got a serial killer in Charlotte? It's definitely a possibility. Charlotte is really big, and they bring a lot of crazy ass people around here. So I got, my wife, my sisters, and my mom, they out here in Charlotte. So women, y'all be careful, man.
What is up with this serial killer thing? It's still going.
Did it start with when they released Netflix been putting out documentaries on serial killers, but did it really pop off when the Jeffrey Dahmer thing was done?
DJ, I'm sorry, hold on. DJ said, who's right? Biden, black kids being roaches, and Sonny, white women being roaches. Remember when Biden said he had kids bouncing on his knee? He's like, he needs to start talking about roaches. You're like, what the hell is Biden talking about?
Well, he was clearly referencing black people.
People said she's handing out coupons for free abortion.
Damn.
Oh man. What would you say? I'm sorry.
Buy one get two free.
No, I'm sorry. What were you saying about the serial killer thing?
Oh, it started. Netflix been putting out documentaries on serial killers.
Yeah.
Did it pop off with Jeffrey Dahmer? Or are they just now telling us all about these different type of things? Well, they ain't even telling us. It's actually people getting on platforms telling us.
I think it might be just because it was a really controversial show that was popular, and it just led people to start connecting it to other stuff in real time. Like, oh, it might be a serial killer right here. It might be a serial killer here. So that might be it. But also there was a show called, there was a documentary on Netflix called Don't F with Cats. That was about a serial killer from Canada. That's
oh yeah, that was really good. He was acting out a role that was
you mean hold on,
role.
you mean good.
Like
you mean interesting. See, looking at it like a damn TV show. People actually died.
When I say good, it was like it was very interesting how this person was literally acting out a movie.
Yeah.
And he acted it out to the end. He turned himself in just like what happened.
Crossed
and
his legs, just like
he mimicked this movie
perfectly
to the T.
Yeah.
He was batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy. Watch that shit if you haven't watched it. Don't F with cats is what it's called. All right. All right, talked about that. Look at this. We talked about this last week. And Regina, when you see this,
so we really hoping Regina being here today because her and Tommy.
Yeah, I think it was Tommy. I was gonna make a whole little animation for y'all saying Hall of Fame comments because Lord, y'all might have called it.
It started out. I said that that was Nancy's
side dude, yeah.
Side dude. And they were like, no.
That's Paul's side dude.
That's Paul's side dude. And I was like, my mind was like, damn, normally
you be on that.
I would say that, but I was trying to be like, no, I'm gonna give Paul the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna go for Nancy this time.
So and Regina made a comment that this is like Jeffrey Dahmer. And man, oh man, she might have hit
Very
that one on
close.
the head. All right, let me show this right quick. All right, we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. We're gonna skip this. Now, how this starts is, hold on. Okay. Remember back in June, the White House was talking about how the U.S. needs heightened extremist threat. The U.S. sees heightened extremist threat heading into the midterms.
So they were setting the groundwork.
Huh?
They were setting the groundwork for.
Yeah. So in June they were saying, "Hey man, around the midterms, don't be surprised if we don't see more extremist behavior." Now they didn't say what side was going to be doing it, but it just said, "Hey, the U.S. Department of Security was like, hey man, it's got the Department of Homeland Security. I'm sorry, it was like, be careful, the stuff might happen around midterms." Then you had the Paul Pelosi thing happen, became the biggest story in politics. Now he's home. Now keep in mind, when this happened, Nancy Pelosi, her initial report was she said he's recovering and he'll be fine. His son said he's being put back together. Nancy Pelosi didn't come home for a day after he was quote unquote attacked. She did not go straight home. She continued to campaign. What does that say?
She don't give a damn about Paul.
I remember Regina said that. She said Nancy's sick of Paul. Nancy is sick of Paul. But listen, so it says Paul Pelosi returns home from hospital days after hammer attack. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, has returned home after the home invasion suspect allegedly fractured his skull with a hammer.
6 days later.
6 days, so a week. So he got hit in the head with a hammer. Allegedly, they said he was just beaten bloody.
To a pope.
They said they had to do surgery. He was in surgery, brain surgery. Remember? Oh, he's still unconscious. We don't know what's gonna happen.
He was in brain surgery.
So look at this. Now this is recent. NBC News pulls report claiming Paul Pelosi didn't indicate emergency to cops.
Truth be told, I believe brain surgery is the one that got him in this situation that he in. Anybody know what I'm hitting around to?
So remember, the initial report was that the cops came to the home. Someone, that's the way they said it, someone opened the door and they saw Paul Pelosi and David Depape holding the hammer together. They didn't say fighting over it, they said holding it. And they said he took the hammer and hit him over the head and the cops charged him and took him down to the floor and arrested him. Now, in another article, remember we showed last week, that it said that they both went to the hospital. It said they both went to the hospital. But they're not mentioning him going to the hospital, though. They're only mentioning Paul Pelosi. So right here, NBC have released, they put up a report saying that Paul Pelosi didn't indicate emergency to cops. Remember, this was called a wellness check. The cops only showed up because of a wellness check, not for an alert, not for an emergency, not because they were called. It was a wellness check. They said that Paul Pelosi called and said there was a man in his home. He didn't know him, but he was a friend. And they didn't run and rush to get to him. They said it was a wellness check. They even said they didn't even know that it was Paul Pelosi and Nancy Pelosi's house when they got there. So I'm gonna play it right here.
How they part of the San Francisco to the police department? They don't know that they're the speaker of the house. That's the speaker of the house's house. It don't mean
They never been there. Those dudes. Let's see.
Craig, good morning. When officers arrived here at the Pelosi home exactly a week ago today, they initially didn't have any idea exactly what was going on. They knew they had a high priority call on their hand. What was unclear, what was happening inside the property just behind me.
This morning, Paul Pelosi is home, back at the house that became a crime scene a week ago today. NBC News learning new details about the moments police arrived. Sources familiar with what unfolded in the Pelosi residence now revealing when officers responded to the high priority call, they were seemingly unaware they'd been called to the home of the Speaker of the House. After a knock and announce, the front door was opened by Mr. Pelosi. The 82-year-old did not immediately declare an emergency or try to leave his home, but instead began walking several feet back into the foyer toward the assailant and away from police. It's unclear if the 82-year-old was already injured.
So when he opened the door for the police, now they're saying it was Paul Pelosi that opened the door. Now you will not find this report anywhere. NBC deleted this. You can't find it. I was able to get it from somewhere. So they said that he opened the door for the police, walked back towards the assailant, away from the cops. He didn't just run out the door.
They don't seem like somebody was being
held against their will.
Are told that they wanted to bash their wife's knees in.
Yeah, and tie her up and all this other stuff.
And tie her up. They don't sound like that. They don't sound like what he was said to him to me.
Or what his mental state was, say sources. According to court documents, when the officer asked what was going on, defendant smiled and said everything's good. But instantaneously, a struggle ensued as police clearly saw David Depape strike Paul Pelosi in the head.
So wait. The cops asked what's going on.
Everything good, man.
And Depape, how you say his name, said everything's good.
We good.
Then he took the hammer away from him and hit him. What the hell?
That's a lie.
Now remember, they also had a report that he was in his underwear. They took that story down, and now they're saying no, he was in shorts. Oh no, I'm sorry, he wasn't in shorts. No, I'm saying that's what they said. They said first they said he was in underwear. Then they said he was in shorts. Then they said he had all black on with a backpack.
Depape?
Yeah. Oh no, he was in his drawers. He did come with black on and had shorts on. And when they found him, he was in his underwear. I believe it.
That's the real crime scene of what they were doing in that damn bedroom. Allegedly.
With the hammer. After tackling the suspect, officers rushed to Mr. Pelosi, who was lying in a pool of blood.
What we do know is he brutally attacked Mr. Pelosi and attempted to kill him.
After spending several days in the ICU, Pelosi, who is recovering from a fractured skull and serious injuries to his arm and hand, is now home, where Capitol Police remain on alert. Investigators have previously said Pelosi did not know Depape when the 42-year-old broke into his home. Why Pelosi...
By the way, y'all noticed that the windows being smashed, they looked like they were smashed from the inside. The glass, most of the glass is on the pavement, not on the inside. So if you bust a window from the outside, the glass wouldn't go on the pavement.
Broke into his home. Why Pelosi didn't try to flee or tell responding officers he was in distress is unclear.
Fear takes over. Fear freezes people.
This morning, the 82-year-old
They don't add up, sir, because he supposedly went and opened the fucking door.
Now they're saying...
So you walk back to the assailant.
Are they saying he has Stockholm Syndrome?
He did have Stockholm Syndrome. He wanted to get back to what he was doing.
He felt
He's like, y'all disturbing me, but police are known for doing this too. Y'all can join the party.
Lucky to be alive after an intruder nearly killed him in his own home.
Law enforcement officials tell us the bottom line here is this was a terrifying situation. We still don't know exactly what unfolded between Mr. Pelosi and the suspect for the 30 minutes they were alone inside that house before police arrived.
So he was there for 30 minutes. So that means he got there. He got there at 1:50 something. Because the call that Pelosi made wasn't until 2:23.
How do they know he was there for 30 minutes?
Exactly. Has Paul Pelosi told you this?
Why don't we have any pictures of Paul bruised up?
None.
Even him getting out of the hospital, seeing you have bandages. Paul said, I ain't doing all that shit, doing all that acting, putting all that shit on me. Just put the story out and let it be.
Paul Pelosi tried to. Now, this is one of the initial stories that came out. This is October 31st.
Why the Kennedy honors got rainbow shit?
Huh?
Never mind.
Paul Pelosi tried to escape from attacker to an elevator equipped with a phone to call 911, San Francisco District Attorney says. I thought they said he did it in the bathroom.
Yeah, they say this was a Jeffrey Dahmer scene.
Yeah.
Of the black dude saying how he got away from him. The
By
first
going to the
time was
bathroom.
he asked Jeffrey if he could use the bathroom. So Paul asked Depape,
can I use the bathroom?
Can he use the bathroom?
Revealed, Paul Pelosi attacker was trying to murder 82-year-old and liken himself to the founding fathers in an interview with cops. Speaker's husband scrambled to bathroom to call 911 after being stopped from using phone in home's elevator. So what you're saying happened is he breaks into the home. He goes upstairs to the bedroom. Remember, he woke him up out of his sleep. Paul Pelosi gets up. What the hell are you doing in my house? Whatever, goes back and forth, runs towards the elevator. He stops him. And then he says, okay, hey, can I use the bathroom then? What? Okay, you won't let me in the elevator, but can I use the bathroom? He goes in the bathroom where he has his phone charging. Look. I ain't gonna say nobody ever charges their phone in the bathroom. Most people probably do that when they're about to take a shower or a bath, a long bath, and you put your phone on the charger, about to go dead.
How many wait a minute. Sorry, y'all. How many times have we seen 2:30?
What do you mean?
Kanye West, his trainer, sent him those text messages at 2:30.
Yeah.
Takeoff died at 2:30.
They had a song called 2:30.
Pelosi's he's invaded Pelosi's home around 2:30 on Friday. How many times have we seen 2:30 and all these stories that's going on?
And at a witching hour, or was that 3? It's a witching hour, ain't it? A lot of shit going on. Officials in California have formally charged David Depape with attempting murder, among other felony charges, in relation to his Friday's hammer attack on Paul Pelosi, husband Speaker of House Nancy Pelosi. In a press conference on Monday, San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins explicitly referred to the attack as politically motivated. Jenkins also stated her belief that Depape intended to murder Paul Pelosi. Jenkins told the media what is clear based on the evidence that we have thus far is that this house and the speaker itself were specifically targeted of the defendant. Depape, go ahead.
I thought he came there for Nancy.
There you go. Where's the "Where is Nancy" thing?
I mean,
when did he say this? Where's Nancy?
He said, where's Nancy? I'm gonna bust her caps in and kneecaps in and tie her up.
Depape, 42, is also facing charge of attempted kidnapping a U.S. official and one count of assault of an immediate family member of the U.S. official. The suspect will be arraigned on Tuesday. He is accused of breaking into Pelosi's home and beating Paul Pelosi over the head with a hammer and intending to hold the House Speaker's wife, Nancy, hostage to break her kneecap. Jenkins said in a press conference that Paul Pelosi was asleep in a loose-fitting pajama shirt and pair of boxer shorts when he awoken by Depape around 2:30.
Why the kneecaps? Did he choose the kneecaps because he does a lot of standing?
I don't know.
Because she's the Speaker of the House, or why the kneecaps?
I don't know. At some point during the ordeal, Paul Pelosi attempted to escape into an elevator to 911 call when the avenue was closed off to him. He did manage to get into the bathroom where he was able to call police. Depape was listening on the phone. Listen, Depape was listening in on the phone call and knew police were going to arrive, according to the FBI interrogators, but explained that he did not leave after Pelosi's call to 911 because, much like the American founding fathers with the British, he was fighting against tyranny without the option of surrender. They're trying to make him a right-winger now.
This is a, yeah.
They're trying to make him a right-winger. Even though everything about him says that he was a Canadian immigrant, by the way. And look at this. The awful truth. Paul Pelosi was struck on the head with a hammer by a lunatic early Friday morning. He changed the title, and it changed the entire article. Original title, October 29, 2022. Original title, The Awful Truth, Paul Pelosi was a drunk again and in a dispute with a male prostitute early Friday morning. They changed the title. Update. In the now removed report, NBC News says Pelosi initially told police everything was fine and walked back to rejoin Depape. NBC report says it was unclear what the two men were doing for 30 minutes before the San Francisco police arrived at the Pelosi residence. Now, he said he got rid of the original report because he was doing something because he was told to. He said, look, because the mainstream media, which has spent weeks vilifying me, has now started to admit that I was right. I have decided to add my original post to the bottom of the post. After all, unlike NBC News, I don't have to believe in censorship. And this is a small part of American history. Scroll down to see it. God bless America. So he updated it because he took it down because they told him to. Now he just put it back together. Now this is the original. Listen to this. This is the original report he put out about what he's hearing happen. As San Francisco gay bars closed at 2 a.m., two gay men met in the bar and went home together. Now, there are rumors that Paul Pelosi is gay. Happens every night in the city by the Bay, except one of these two men was married to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. I might disappear for telling you the truth, but if I do, you all know why. But here's what really happened early Friday morning in San Francisco, in my honest opinion. According to the San Francisco PD, RP reporting person, they didn't give their name, stated there's a male in the home and that he's going to wait for his wife. RP stated that he doesn't know who the male is, but he advised that his name is David and that he's a friend. The dispatch official said RP sounded somewhat confused. So they're saying that he sounded confused because he said he don't know who he is, his name is David, and he's a friend. Okay. It's been a rumor for years that San Francisco that Paul Pelosi is gay. David Depape is said to be Castro nudist. The lunatic who allegedly assaulted Paul Pelosi is a Berkeley resident and a former Castro nudist protester and hemp jewelry maker. Sounds totally MAGA Republican to me. This is from Twitter. Okay, so here's the theory, as related to me by a source. Castro nudists are a group who really radical gay male prostitutes that parade around naked. Remember when they kept pointing out that he had a ex-lover, a female ex-lover who was a pedophile because she was messing around with a 14-year-old boy? I said, why they bring this? Why they bring
that up?
Why they bring this woman up?
He said, throw you off your scent.
They walk around naked with penis rings. First of all, the police did not come in response to an alarm. They came in response to a wellness check. So someone called them to check on Pelosi, who made the call. When he didn't answer the phone, the cops broke the sliding door window to get in. Pelosi was struggling with the suspect who was in his underwear. That was the initial report, that he was in his underwear. They took that down. Pelosi owned the hammer, not Depape, or the male prostitute was doing something Pelosi didn't like. And then there was a press conference where they didn't know the mic was on. Now this actually happened. During that, a reporter confirmed that the suspect was gay Castro nudist, but they told him he couldn't use it. Now tell me something. The people are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Nancy is the third in line to the presidency. You don't think they have a most amazing security? And by the way, when Pelosi was in the drunk driving accident, he had a young man with him.
Yeah, okay.
And that too was covered up by the police and the press. Remember, people kept saying there was another person
in the car
with Paul Pelosi who left the scene. Remember, the sheriff showed up to the scene and left.
Nancy trying to set Paul up.
You think Nancy doing it? I don't know.
Who called for the wellness check?
Nobody won't say. They said they're saying that Paul called.
So Paul called for the wellness check.
He called for his own wellness check.
His wife
is not there. He gets attacked.
You supposed to get attacked and she still continue one-day campaigning?
Yeah.
That sounds like she's trying to.
I don't know. He said Nancy is. I read it already. Now they said it was a man with him when he got in the DUI as well. But yeah, How could suspect Depape have been able to break a window without triggering an alarm? He didn't. The police broke the window to gain entry. There was only one hammer, and it belonged to Pelosi. And only one cop said he said, "Where's Nancy?" None of the others said that he said that. Probably the police broke the window in order to get in to conduct the wellness check. And one of them could easily have broken the window. Remember, this was no alarm triggered. How would suspect Depape have gotten into the house without doing that? The cop smashed the glass to gain entry. Who called 911 to initiate wellness check? Either Nancy or her staff. Who hadn't heard from Paul all evening and suddenly at 2 a.m. or a neighbor hearing a fight at the Pelosi residence? Admittedly, David Depape is a known nutcase. He's an election denier, says mainstream media, who has posted conspiracy theories online. That may be true, but he also lives in Berkeley, where he is a 42-year-old career student. My law firm served a lawsuit against Paul Pelosi one time in San Francisco after attempting to serve at another residence in Napa, Georgetown. They weren't home, but staff were, and multiple law enforcement officers were on the perimeter. Break-in is odd given this level of security, said Hemant Dillon, Republican National Committee Chairman.
He's also from Berkeley. When you think of Berkeley, you think of communists.
Yeah. Now, this right here is Craig Cruel Gallery. The landlord for David Depape, Malcolm Loveliner. He is the landlord for David Depape. I'm sorry. Now it says right here. Now also, I didn't get it. I forgot this picture. There was a picture. I thought I had it. Let me check. I got a picture of David Depape and the landlord allegedly taking his clothes out of the house. There you go. Look at this. Now, this is the landlord for David Depape. He lived in a garage at a man's house. This right here, it says he's taking a picture. He's taking his clothes out of his house. But the FBI is investigating this.
Nothing should be touched.
Nothing should be touched.
His house is a crime scene.
Now,
pretty much.
Now, Malcolm Loveliner, he takes pictures, and he takes the pictures, and they don't have them on his website, but he takes pictures of homosexual events.
Well, he has all the pictures on his website as men, so
he's accused. So we know that David's considered to be gay. And now we see this whole story alleged that this dude got out about him possibly getting into some little bit of a relationship, not a relationship, what do they call it, lover's quarrel with Paul. I don't know.
A lover's quarrel.
All right. U.S. Capitol Police armed officers weren't watching live home security cameras when Paul Pelosi was attacked. Officers in the U.S. Capitol Police have live video surveillance outside of Pelosi's San Francisco residence, but weren't watching it when David Depape, 42, allegedly attacked Paul Pelosi, the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The officers were monitoring a live feed of many cameras, which includes surveillance of the Capitol complex, but also monitored some points away from the Capitol, which include the Pelosi residence. According to sources, the officers were always monitoring the feed and saw police lights on the dark street outside of Pelosi's residence. When going through surveillance footage, the officers saw the alleged attack on October 28 when Depape allegedly struck Paul Pelosi. People briefed on the incident said, hold on. Now it says that they only have cameras outside, none inside. But right here it says when going through the surveillance footage, the officers saw the attack on October 28. So how do you see it if it was inside the building?
That clearly mean they lying.
That means you have footage of the quote unquote what happened inside. Just lying. And this is the last thing I'm going to show.
I don't care who tell it.
I'm not going to read all this. I just want to read one little piece. It says, on October 28, 2022, at 2:23 a.m., San Francisco dispatch received a 911 call from Paul Pelosi. This is the official affidavit because he's not just going against the state of California. He has to go against the U.S., the United States, because it's obviously public official's family member. It says, located at a Pelosi residence in San Francisco, California, Pelosi stated words to the effect that there's a male in the home and that the male is going to wait for Pelosi's wife. Pelosi further conveyed that he does not know who the male is. The male said his name is David. So it was the man who said his name is David. So while he's on the phone and says, I don't know who this guy is, the guy says, I'm David. So you heard him through the wall, through the door.
Well, this make more sense that he's not staying there to break Nancy's kneecaps. He's staying there to quote unquote expose Paul.
I don't know. At 2:31 a.m., San Francisco Police Department Officer Kobe Williams responded to the Pelosi residence, California, and knocked on the front door. When the door was open, Pelosi and Depape were both holding a hammer with one hand, and Depape had his other hand on Pelosi's forearm. Pelosi greeted the officers. Wait. Remember, they said Pelosi opened the door as well.
He opened the door.
So they're standing next to the door in the bedroom. They knock on the door. They already broke the window. They already broke the glass to get in.
Okay, no.
I'm sorry. Depape broke the glass, got in. They're upstairs. 30 minutes later, they're fighting over a hammer, apparently, after he went in the bathroom and didn't stay in there.
But the police knocked on the door, and Paul opened the door and went back to...
Well, not the same. See, that's the thing. Was he standing next to the door, or did he let go of the hammer, open the door, go back to the dude, and put his hand back on the hammer? What the hell? If they were standing next to the door, okay, you just open the door while you're holding it.
What were they doing with those hammers?
Then he said, Pelosi greeted the officers.
Yeah.
So while this guy's in my house threatening to kill my wife, hello, officers. How you doing, officers? That sounds pretty calm. You greeted.
Nice to see here.
Okay. The officers asked them what was going on. Depape responded that everything was good. Officers then asked Pelosi and Depape to drop the hammer. Then he hit it with a hammer. That don't make sense. Now, another thing they did was Depape pulled the hammer away from Pelosi's hand and swung the hammer, striking Pelosi in the head. Officers immediately went inside and were... Now, they weren't inside the room yet. They were still standing at the door. They immediately went inside where they were able to restrain Depape. While officers restraining Depape, Pelosi appeared to be unconscious on the ground. Officers removed a cell phone, cash, collector's cards, and unidentified card from Depape's right shorts pocket. So he had shorts on. Not all black pants on.
Or drawers. Living in his underwear.
And that's the end of that. Like,
there's
that case
three
makes
different stories.
There's so much going on in that story, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
That story makes no damn sense.
We done with it.
Entanglement.
They were playing Hide the Hammer.
How hard to fix the clone back. All right.
So go back.
What?
It was another one.
What?
You got more.
Where? That's it.
Wasn't it? How hard to fix it? Okay, never mind.
All right.
They were playing hide the hammer key for where were they hiding the hammer before the cops got there?
I don't want to know.
Why they got hammers out?
Biden sends stark warning about political violence ahead of midterms. We can't take democracy for granted any longer. Now, in this, I'm pretty sure y'all saw the speech he did. He spoke up completely the whole time about protecting, saving democracy, how the right wing, the Republicans, they're attacking people, they're bringing violence to political sphere and all that other stuff. But people was like, this got to be the most dumbest speech to have right now. No one gives a damn about this.
He should be talking about the economy, inflation. What are we gonna do about the oil? Crime,
Ukraine,
homelessness,
stop sending money, gas price. Like, it's so much more that people cared about. And
y'all so well. They're not really worried. It's all a game.
It's a Joe Biden's head
Trump attack.
Now this is the CNN saying this. Joe Biden's head scratching democracy speech. They're like, why are you talking about democracy? Okay, CNN released a new national poll on Wednesday that made a single stark point. This election is all about the economy. The majority, 51% of likely voters, said that the economy was the most important issue in determining how they will vote in the midterm. The next biggest issue, abortion, drew just 15%, which means they don't care. They don't, and this is what they've been campaigning on.
Abortion.
and no one cares.
There should be a campaigning on the economy.
Hours later, President Joe Biden delivered a much publicized address on the perils facing U.S. democracy. We can't take democracy for granted any longer, he warned in a speech that set an apocalyptic stakes for the coming election. That contrast between what's on the mind of voters and what the president wants to talk about was stark, especially when you consider just 9% of likely voters in CNN polls said that voting rights and election integrity were the most important issue their vote for Congress. Now, who been constantly talking about voting rights and election integrity? They're Democrats. People are like, we don't care. This is why they don't get washed up. I want to show this. We want to talk about attacks. This is how split white people in this country are becoming. All I gotta say to black people, stay out of it.
They're not though.
It has nothing to do with you. This is them. They're going against each other.
This the Civil War all over again.
The war already started, really. I remember last election, 2020, you had people saying, hey man, be careful, 2020 election. People gonna be stabbing people, whooping people. There's gonna be some stuff going on. But COVID happened.
Stabbed.
Getting beaten and stabbed. I can't find that damn video. Damn, I want that. Getting beaten and stabbed. People thought it was gonna happen, but COVID happened. Couldn't really move how they wanted to move. I'm saying it right now. 2024.
You might have to do mail-in.
Hey, if you do mail-in, do mail-in. Because look at this. A bullet and death threats won't knock this Green Beret off his mission. Defiant GOP candidate vows to fight on after his kids were nearly killed by gunmen who shot a house after Dem rival posted campaign ad outside the North Carolina property. So the Democratic candidate did an ad outside of the property of the Republican. And the Republican house got shot up afterwards.
And you know what? I believe this story more than I believe the Paul Pelosi story.
That's the crazy part. No, we know this is real. we know this is real because look, that's his family. It's a bullet hole.
That's a real bullet hole.
Now, we don't know if he shot the bullet and this is fake.
They did it.
First off, you doxed the man by putting his house in your ad. They tried to kill the man. Look at this. Man charged in disturbance, quote unquote, after approaching a New Hampshire Senate candidate, Don Bodick, before a debate. He swung on a general.
Is that the mugshot picture he took?
Yeah, he swung on a general running for Senate. He swung on a candidate.
And then he ducked.
He just swung on him. He said he walking up to the debate thing. He just swung. What is going on? They shooting on people and swinging on them. This is now white politics. I'm so glad this is not niggas. I'm so glad.
Savagery.
I'm so glad this ain't a nigga swinging on somebody. Thank you, Lord.
Don't speak too soon. Because them nigga might swing on Herschel Walker.
Now, this is what people care about. Lyft to lay off 683 employees in cost-cutting push. Look at this. CNN signals layoffs and budget cuts before end of year. Chime cuts 12% of its workforce, adding to recent wave of tech layoffs. Look, Chris Cuomo demands new time slot at News Nation as ratings tank.
Oh, they're not watching because of the time.
Exactly.
If they move it to any other time, your show's still gonna get low ratings.
Don Lemon's CNN This Morning debuts to dismal ratings, trails long struggling New Day.
Why did he go to the morning?
But listen, CNN's new morning program managed a dismal 387,000 total viewers. Nobody's watching that. CNN how long CNN got?
Not much longer.
I think they got like a 2 year. They got 2 years.
How much longer do any of them have?
That's true. Layoffs looms as Paramount preps for consolidation of Showtime networks and Paramount.
They gonna get rid of Yellow Jacket?
There's two cable companies. I can't remember if it's Dish Network and something else thinking about consolidating themselves. I said pretty much all of the cable and satellite gonna be one thing at one point. They're already kind of doing that with the streaming services.
Yeah.
At some point, these companies that own other companies gonna say, look, why even have it separate? Paramount's like, why the hell we gonna have Showtime separate from Paramount? Disconnected. So we have the same shows on one service instead of putting them on two. They're just slowly doing it. walking us down slow.
Well, that's how it was before. Everything was together.
The tech labs headlines are leaving out a lot about recession risk in the economy. So they're saying all these tech layoffs are connected to the recession in the economy, which once again, Biden and them not talking about. Look at this. The messy unwinding of the New World Order in charts. So this Wall Street Journal went through and showed how the New World Order built up, right? And how now it's falling. How it lasted until 2000. What they're telling you is the New World Order, the way they wanted things to go, stopped in 2007. After that, the New World Order began.
Who was in office in 2007?
Obama. Obama got in office. So they're showing, see, 2007, and look, bank loans going down. So now they're saying we in a new world right now. We got to move a little differently. So basically they went through all the charts. Look at this. This is why they're really saying this. Hedge fund Elliott warns of a more pain to come after 2022 market rout. Prominent asset manager says hyperinflation could spark one of the worst crises since Second World War. Since this Ukraine thing happened, we keep hearing them reference World War II. World War II. They keep referencing it. You got people saying that what is it? Is it Japan and Russia? I think they still haven't ended World War II. They haven't officially ended that. They're still in World War II. That's why Russia keep bringing it up. So he's saying we about to go into hyperinflation. We're about to go into what happened in this mid 70s to the early 90s. And you see what happened during that? You had a crack epidemic.
Well, you got the meth, heroin, fentanyl.
Yeah, is that
any opiate addiction going on right now?
That's how you know that this really started in 2007.
And it's not just the white folks.
It ain't. Niggas starting to get on this shit too.
Niggas are starting to
get on meth. I don't get it.
And all this other shit, and I just be shaking my head at them.
Just straggling on. Moderna CEO admits COVID is like seasonal flu. Only vulnerable need jabs. Now, this was said about 2 weeks ago. This was 2 weeks ago, October 19, 2022. Right? Now I'm going to show this right here. What? What? More lethal strain of COVID created in Boston University lab. Researchers say. Why would you make a more dangerous version of of something you say is already deadly?
And they did it here? Boston here?
China said they did the first one here. Let's leave it at that.
Wow, dude.
That's what China said. I didn't say that.
You did say it.
No, China said that.
No,
I was China when I said that.
You're repeating alleged things that China
That's
said.
a conspiracy theory. I know. It's not real. Of course they didn't do it.
Niggas.
Oh, Lord. Jim Cramer explains propaganda got a bad rap. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
The website said, we ain't sorry. Don't hold on.
Get that shit up out of here. Watch the awkward silence. At CNBC Jim Cramer explains propaganda got a bad rap because of regimes we didn't really appreciate. So he was defending what's going on in China right now. I'm going to go ahead and show the clip. I'm going to show an ad, ain't they?
Loading ad. Yep.
I just move forward and let it play the ad. No, because we're going to go talk about this. I got to show this right quick. Hold on. I don't want to know either. I don't want to know what they're doing with that hammer.
Jimmy Moore.
That's not it, is it?
Don't know.
But anyway, Jim Cramer, he basically said, we need propaganda the same way China do. And they were talking about the COVID situation going on. the lockdowns that China is having, and he was pretty much speaking in support of it. Now I'm gonna show this. There's new leads need to be turned, right, Travis? We got to move forward with certain things. You know, we can't look in the past all the time. The last 3 years, you know, we said some things we didn't mean. We did some things we shouldn't have. Let's just move on.
No, everything I said, I meant.
So this is the Atlantic, so that lets me know it ain't just black. Let's declare a pandemic amnesty. Let's focus on the future and fix the problems we still need to solve. By Emily Oster. Emily Oster is a person, if you look her up, who was very supportive of all the COVID policies that got some people fired, all type of stuff.
So they want a clean slate.
So they want to give an amnesty. They want to move on. Let's move forward. Let's not look back at all the stuff that happened. So April 2020, with nothing else to do, my family took an enormous number of hikes. We all wore cloth masks that I had made myself. We had a family hand signal, which the person in front would use if someone was approaching on the trail and we needed to put on our mask. Once, when another girl got too close to my then 4-year-old son on the bridge, he yelled at her social distancing. These precautions were totally misguided. Until April 2020, no one got the coronavirus from passing someone else hiking. Outdoor transmissions were vanishingly rare. Our cloth masks made out of old banana wouldn't have done anything anyway. But the thing is, we didn't know. Yes, we did. People were saying this. People were saying cloth is not going to protect you from this. That's why you started hearing about N95 masks. See, we don't forget. You did know. Or did you not know?
Not know what?
That cloth mask wasn't doing shit. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You walk around with it.
Still do.
You don't wear that shit no more. I had people, I'm walking down the street. You see people walk with masks on. You ain't got a mask on. They go to the other side of the street.
I never forget. I was coming up the street and there was a black dude coming down the same sidewalk I was on. And I moved to the other side. He said,
"It be your own people."
He said, "It be your own people." He started shaking his head. I'm like, nigga, the coronavirus ain't got no race on it.
Bid. You can't get away from the bid. But look, I remember I was walking down the street. I saw an old person walking towards me, an older black person. And I'm walking. I ain't paying attention. And I look up and they gone. And I see them walking across the street. I said, "Damn." The older black person like, "I ain't taking no chances with you little niggas." And just walked across the street.
She was sprinting.
No, it was a him.
Oh, he was sprinting.
Because I saw him walking towards me and I looked down, I looked back up. I'm like, he going across the street. I said, damn. Teachers Union President Randy Weingarten backs call for amnesty on COVID policies. Now, this is Breitbart. We know. Do you understand that the teachers...
Hold on, no. Why every time we put up a conservative...
Because no, this ain't conservative. Breitbart is not conservative. Even I can say that. They're not conservative. They are definitely far right. But when they say something that's true, it's true. But they are what they are. We got to go through the other stuff to know what they be saying. They're the ones that were pushing that crime shit, the crime statistics on. They're the ones who literally had once had a tab for black crime. Literally. They are definitely that. But listen, the Teachers Union president is literally the person who stopped some of y'all kids from going to school because the teachers. Now she's asking for an amnesty for COVID policies. She need her, these parents.
Queen's flip.
These parents.
I'm thinking of Queen's flip.
Oh, what happened?
Man, take care of your kids. Take care of your fucking kids. I do take care of my kids. And then his friends sit there looking like, dumb nigga, you don't take care of your kids.
And they gonna take care of his kids. But listen, this woman know that some foots and hands want to get put on her ass because she the one who kept these parents around their badass kids.
She said she ready to go.
So now she's asking for an amnesty. Let's just forget about it. Now, even in Canada, this is happening. Alberta Premier exploring pardons for COVID-19 related fines and arrests. Premier Danielle Smith says she was receiving legal advice on how she can issue pardons to Albertans who received fines or were arrested for breaking COVID-19 public health restrictions. Alberta's premier made a comment Saturday at a media availability following her address to the United Conservative Party members at their annual general meeting. She claims since most fines and charges came from Alberta Alberta Health Services Administrative Direction, the Premier may be able to wade into rescinding them. It was a political decision to throw out the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to put those fines in place in the first place. And I think it will be a political decision to make amends and apologize for it and eliminate them. Hold on, wait a minute. It was a political decision to throw out the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So it wasn't a health decision.
She said what she said.
So if in Canada they saying that it was a political decision, then what was it in America?
Political? Allegedly.
Screw parental.
In Canada, I say it was, but in America, allegedly.
Screw parental interference inside the online community, encouraging kids to transition. So they basically go into a thing about how there's a person in a Reddit thread or Reddit community who are having kids and convincing these young kids on their platform to get transitions and not tell their parents. They're actually trying to convince them to do it, saying then they say they're gonna kidnap the kids, or should they say take the kids and put them with parents who are accepting of their lifestyle. I said, well, that's called kidnapping. So basically, you could have a kid right now who's on this website who is being told that they should get a transition and run away from home to another family. Now, what they really doing? What is this new family? What do you mean by that? Who gonna take on a kid that ran away from home? Go ahead. Oh, now you scared. You shook.
No, I ain't scared.
Say it.
They need to ask for it.
That's it. That's the big thing you want to say. Philadelphia gender clinic trained employees at school that hide students' gender identities from parents.
What?
Yeah. I don't even got to read no more.
Philadelphia gender, they hide their identity
from the parents. So
how you hide their identity?
They just don't tell them.
Tell them what?
That they supposed to be something else.
When they at school, they
No, I think it's might be in surgeries. A Philadelphia gender clinic provided training materials for public school employees in the Pennsylvania district that asked educators to use students
materials.
Huh?
I thought you said training materials. Like they actually provided them.
Yeah.
Not training. Tranny.
Training materials. Oh, I'm sorry. Training materials to public school employees in the Pennsylvania district that asks educators to use students' preferred names and pronouns without informing parents, according to training slides and emails obtained exclusively by the Daily Caller.
I knew that's what it was.
So you're going to, at school, call me this, but my parents won't know. Watch this. CDC allocated $85 million for grants requiring schools to start student-led clubs supporting LGBT youth. When did the CDC be able to give funds? Like, what is this? The CDC, the Center for Disease Control, can give grants to schools?
So they're saying if you're part of the LGBT,
if you
have a disease.
No, I'm about to say. So what is the disease or what is the health concern they're putting money into?
It's a mental illness.
This is crazy. Look at this. State Department awards $20,000 to Ecuadorian nonprofit to host drag theater performances.
I've been telling y'all, black women, stop wearing all that damn makeup, them damn wigs.
Now we know that they gave Afghanistan millions to push trans teachings. That's when they released that. What was that? 2021 when people was getting the STEMI checks.
What?
What's the name of that bill they put the stimulus checks in? COVID relief bill.
Yeah, COVID relief.
Remember when Trump was saying there's a bunch of stuff in this bill that's
why he wouldn't approve it.
Literally in that bill, Afghans were getting millions to teach transgenderism. That was in the bill. And you go, why the hell would you put something like that in the bill?
They didn't need to.
It's a COVID relief bill for COVID. Mainly for people who lost their jobs, out of work.
Businesses.
Small businesses.
Small businesses.
Like, that's what it was for. What the hell they got to do with anything? But that's where they send the money. Lolly crying. All right. I didn't even get to change all this. Damn. All right. This is the last segment. Russia accuses UK of involvement in naval drone strike in Crimea. Now, this is why a possible World War III really is just about the food resource. Remember when we talked about the Netherlands making their farmers pretty much pay taxes on their beef and stuff? That's about control. Because if you can't afford it, then we talked about how they really want you to eat bugs. We talked about that last week. They want you to eat bugs and fake meat and 3D printed Jewish meat, apparently.
Let their ass eat it.
So you look at this right here. We talked about Russia is now saying that UK put drone strikes on Crimea, but they're also convinced that the UK has something to do with the Black Sea drone strike. See, Russia has proof of UK involvement in Black Sea drone strike. UK brushes off allegations as invented story. Moscow has claimed it will publish proof that the British specialist troops were involved in a drone attack over the weekend on Russia's Black Sea fleet. It comes as the Ministry of Defense dismissed Russia's allegations as an invented story, which says more about arguments going on inside the Russian government than it does about the West. Then is this. Russia blames UK for a terror attack on Nord Stream pipelines. British MOD calls it Russian distraction. Why is Russia accusing the UK of all this? Remember when Putin said it was Anglo-Saxons that did this? And when he said Anglo-Saxon, you think white. He's talking about white people. No, he was talking about people in the UK. He was saying it was Anglo-Saxons. But this is how they might have got caught up. They might have actually got caught because of Liz Truss.
In Liz, we trust.
Medvedev said Russia waging sacred battle against Satan and Nazi drug addicts. We're going to show this right here. Ministers ordered by spy chiefs to stop using their mobile phones after a suspected Kremlin hack on Liz Truss sparked security clampdowns. Now, this is before, I think this was right after she stepped down, or was it right before? Can't remember. I think this is after she had already stepped down as prime minister. The reason why they put this story out is because they knew her phone was hacked, but it wasn't just her phone, it was the entire government. Their entire infrastructure was hacked.
Why would you be texting stuff off your private phone?
And the big story that came out of this was that the reason why something big came out of this is because somebody leaked a text message that Liz Truss sent, what's his name? I forgot the guy's name. He sent a text message to the, it's right here, hold on. He sent a text message saying it's done after the Nord Stream explosion. See, it's done. Liz Truss message to Blinken, Anthony Blinken, the CIA director. I think he's CIA director or FBI director, one of them. Over Nord Stream attack. Former UK Prime Minister Liz Truss allegedly sent a text message saying it's done to the Secretary. Oh, sorry, no. He's a Secretary of State. Secretary of State. Yeah. It's done to the U.S. Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, immediately after the Nord Stream attack. Kim.com, a German-Finnish internet entrepreneur who resides in New Zealand, said the text message is the reason Russia claims the UK was involved in blowing up the pipeline. He was credited iCloud admin access to the discourse. The Russian Foreign Ministry has asked the British government to officially comment on the explosive claims against Truss. Last week, several British media outlets reported that the personal phone of Liz Truss was allegedly hacked by Putin's spies. Notably, Russian claims that the British Navy was involved in the Nord Stream's terror attack came just after Liz Truss' phone hacking allegations. This report has full information. So the reason why she had to step down is because she got caught up just like Hillary Clinton.
About to be exposed.
So she had to say, look, you got to go. Because if you get caught up in this, it's going to bring everybody down with you. She got caught up just like Hillary Clinton. Why do they want to use their personal phones to do government business? I know why. Because they're making personal damn business
Hillary
deals.
said, "How dare you compare her to me?"
I'm better than this. She was using whole damn fake. She was using whole personal servers, not just cell phones.
And she still ain't gone nowhere.
And but then when she got caught, she beat the cell phones with hammers.
And then she came out with a T-shirt, but her emails.
It's crazy. This is insane.
That was a good one, Hillary.
People been saying since the 90s, when will these people go to prison? And they just won't. They ain't going to prison, man.
But her emails.
Kremlin considering further steps over allegations Britain attacked Nord Stream gas pipelines. Now this is where it gets serious. We know that this is really about a separation in this new order of things. It's about really controlling the cattle that is the people. That's why they want to feed you bugs.
I ain't cattle.
It's about controlling the energy system. That's why you've been hearing about food shortages and even energy shortages, especially in Europe. If you're in Europe, I feel bad for you.
If you're in Europe, you feel bad for you.
If it's Negroes,
people bad for people in America.
It's Negroes in Europe
too.
It's Negroes in Europe. Huh?
That's what you say.
That's what I say. Okay. So now they're talking about taking further steps. Now we've been seeing the Russians be accused of pushing forth a nuclear war. We've also seen them saying that a small nuclear war might not be so bad. It might help the what do they call it? It might help the climate.
Those quote unquote Negroes better go back to their home country.
They might say the same thing to us. Is this our home country?
Some of us it is.
No, is this our home country?
I don't know. So for some of us it is our home country.
Okay. Sorry. Right? Yes.
Okay then. So why do you say that?
I just said they might say the same thing to you.
They can't say the same thing to me.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Saudi Arabia and U.S. on high alert after being warned about being an imminent Iranian attack. So this is going to make Saudi Arabia and America get back in bed together. Because now they're saying, oh, look, the Iranians, they're going to bomb you. So the U.S. is basically saying, oh, Saudi Arabia, you don't want to do business with us no more? Oh, okay. Hey, Iran said they got some bombs for you. Don't worry that bomb has U.S. written on it. It's Iranian. Don't worry.
Whoa, this is all alleged.
We saying it says U.S., but it's an Iranian bomb. They stole it. So they seem like they're threatening Saudi Arabia. Like, look, we've been playing soft with you for a long time. We've been trying to make this a partnership. Now we're gonna make it a damn business relationship. We're gonna tell you what you're gonna do. Now we don't know if Saudi Arabia take kindly to threats. We saw when they threatened that other dude, his nephew came out and said, we the ones that started terrorism. He admitted to doing 9/11, by the way, saying that. He admitted to it. It was Saudi Arabians that did 9/11, not was it Iraqi or Afghanistan's. It wasn't them. What? He said it. I didn't say it.
Didn't know Saudi Arabians did no damn 9/11. We know who did 9/11.
No. We know it was Saudi Arabians that did it, but it wasn't. They didn't do it for the reason they said they did it. The Saudi Arabians did do it. That happened.
They're giving themselves way too much credit.
Saudi Arabia, U.S. on high alert after warning of imminent Iranian attack. Saudi Arabia has shared intelligence with the U.S. warning of an imminent attack from Iran on targets in the kingdom, but putting the American military and others in the Middle East on an elevated alert level, Saudi and U.S. officials said. In response, go ahead.
Saudi Arabia is picking up phone calls now.
Oh, yeah, they got a phone now.
They calling the United States
Hey,
now.
yo, we got some information. They're trying to bomb us. Oh,
hey,
really?
yo, man, I mean, we were just tripping about that old thing, you know.
Yeah, Russia cool, but we ain't that cool. We go way back. We bigger than that. Oh, man. All right, I think we held y'all long enough. How long we been going? 309, see?
We've held them hostage.
Held them hostage. Oh, man, it's good to see. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. I know exactly what happened this show. We're going to talk about it on off air. I know exactly what happened. But, yeah, glad y'all stopped by. The people who stayed and listened, really appreciate the support. You got anything else you want to say?
Thanks for viewing the channel. And hit the like button.
Please.
Oh, hell. It's like, oh, hell, now they talking about hit the like button.
Hit the like button on your way out, please.
If you enjoyed the content.
If you enjoyed it. If you didn't, you can dislike it and leave a comment.
Get your ass out the door and have a good day.
Anyway, man, really appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Share it if you can, if you don't mind. And be safe. All praise to the Most High. In peace, man.